wait. First of all, do not adjust your television sets. There are more than 2 people here.
Yeah, you and me. There's 4 between us. We're both fat.
Fair. Who are you people? Would you like to? Well, I don't know if you can.
Of course, they don't say a thing.
I walked you in. You know, you've been on this show long enough to know that we fuck around too much on this show. But welcome to Travis and Ryan here. If you guys are a fan of the old school part of the wrestling show.
I thought we said you guys are the fan.
The fan, yes.
The fan.
The fan.
Our multitude of fan.
Our multitude of fan. Ryan and Travis are here, and we're going to talk all sorts of wonderful wrestling stuff tonight on The Wrestling Show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. Blue Smock Nancy, they're awesome. They let us use that wonderful song, Unsettling Differences. You can find them on iTunes and Spotify. As you can see us. This is rare. If you are listening to us on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you get your normal podcasts, we are also doing this as a video show because congratulations, you have come up on the 200th episode.
Technically.
Even
not, but yes.
Though it's episode actually 205.
Because Sleazy went from 199 to 201.
Yeah, because we didn't have a special in the can because of the whole COVID thing. So
does this include all the fucked up ones we did years ago that you
We've already went through this.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. All the fuck ups, all the weird fucking one-offs, the jack-off episode, that's on there. That's counted in the episodes. So yeah, technically, even though this isn't the 200th episode, this is the 200th episode special. Congratulations for joining us. So as I said in the opening, today we have Travis Canning.
Right here.
And then down below me.
Of course he's below you.
Of course he is. We have Ryan Williams.
I'm on top of Travis on my screen, and hey, yo.
So we've
got all you fuckers on a top bar, including me. That's it.
You'll see it when we actually release this show. But we have all sorts of cool things planned for tonight. Mainly, we're going to talk all sorts of different promotions, actually. We're talking 3 different promotions tonight. A few
wrestling.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand. So Fat Man's going to play us in here. What are we doing first?
The chronologically first one.
I don't know which one that was. Get the fuck
for Glory. So, and I know we talked about this. Travis didn't watch it. He told us to go to our basement.
Our fan does not know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I know Ryan's the. I know Ryan's the, out of all of us here, he's the biggest Impact supporter.
Yeah.
I feel like I just watch Impact.
And that's supporting it.
I feel like Ryan just watches wrestling. Like, if it's wrestling and you put it on, he'll watch it. I'm not like that. I'm not. I will watch anything, but not. I won't give up or just watch stuff randomly on my phone just because, I pick and choose my time wisely.
Japanese wrestling pisses me off, but it's just the crowd that pisses me off about Japanese wrestling. So don't watch.
They do this. They do this.
Golf clap.
I hate Japanese wrestling. I hate watching it just for all that shit. I'm like, no, stop.
I will say over the last couple of years, they've gotten more rowdy, especially when it's a bunch of gaijins in the ring. You can thank Kenny Omega for that.
They put a mask on their face and said, no more talkie.
No more talkie. Wow.
We went from going to talk about Impact to fucking New Japan. Like, okay.
Already agreed to that. Let's go back to Bound for Glory.
Okay. So was there a pre-show, Ryan? I don't.
Nah, I don't even remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
It opened with a 6-way intergender scramble match for the X Division title, which it wasn't a scramble match. It was just a 6-way match? Question mark.
Stupid match wording.
Okay, so it's Rohit Raji. I think I said that right. He's defending against Chris Bay, TJP, Willie Mack, Trey, and Jordan Grace.
Sure.
That's what happens when COVID hits and you need to stick somebody else in the match that has nothing to do in the division they just got kicked out of.
So the match went 13 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't have Meltzer's star ratings yet. I'm going to actually try to look them up right now because they weren't out yet, and they still aren't. So
Meltzer doesn't talk about Impact.
So, Ryan, you're the Impact Wrestling enthusiast.
I'm sad Chris Bay didn't go over and get that belt back because I think he's that perfect little mouthpiece for that X Division right now with no COVID because he can talk, and if there's no people there or everybody's there, his point's still getting across because he's slick and smooth and a greasy piece of shit.
Okay.
What?
What do you think of the match? Just say Chris Bay should have won. Fuck off.
It was your standard little X Division opener that the Ryan guy didn't win. Is what my thought on that match was.
Okay, I put it was a spot fest, but not even that good of a one. No spot stood out. It was slightly above average, 2 3/4 stars, and Mini Jinder Mahal won.
Wow.
You just chose more words to say what I said. It's a standard X Division match.
Right.
I mean, it was hot.
It was there.
It was,
Right, Sleazy?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
The show opened and it happened.
the show opened. It happened. I am actually surprised that they didn't put the title on Jordan Grace. I thought that was kind of the point of putting her in that match.
I think because they put the knockouts tag team titles in, so they're thinking, okay, now we need another female in that tournament.
Maybe,
so let's
yeah.
not do that.
Yeah, well,
that was the plan to crown jewel. So,
I mean, that's just the reality of it, I guess. But this wasn't the first intergender match on the card, or the only intergender match on the card either. So, I mean, which that one we'll talk about that one later.
yeah. Okay, next was the intergender Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. I'm not going to list through everyone who was in it. The match went 25 minutes, 22 seconds. I mean, it was a battle royal. I mean, 2 stars. Brian and I got into a discussion / argument. I was the only one that thought it was an argument, I guess.
Usual.
I think Heath was going to win, and then he got hurt, and then they changed it to Rhino. That was a story that...
discussion / argument because that was what happened on Impact.
Right. But it was a story they wanted to tell, and they went that way. It was obvious that one of the two was going to win. I still see Rhino turning on Heath at some point. I mean, I think that's the end game. But as far as the match goes, meh, battle royal. It is what it was.
It's like every other battle royal.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everyone. Well, no, this is they end in the singles match. I like that booking on a battle royal.
Well,
The last 2 people it turns into a match. I think it adds something to it. But
I don't mind it. It does give a little bit of a twist on the battle royal, which is fine. But
it wasn't the reverse one, so
you just miss King of the Hill. That's all you miss.
King of the Hill.
Or King of the Mountain. King of the Hill. I'll tell you what, Bobby.
I was just gonna say I do miss King of the Hill too. Yeah.
I don't. I thought it was stupid.
Of course you would.
Of course I am. I did.
You don't understand good comedy. It's fine.
Okay. What'd you get up, Sleazy?
2.5 stars. It was nothing.
An okay match for a house show.
Yeah, it was a battle royal.
Okay, so
Whatever. Whatever.
How I missed this.
It's a fucking battle royal. Let's go.
EC3 versus Moose.
In a cinematic match.
The match went 9 minutes and 49 seconds. I didn't get it at first. Like, why are they even doing this? They finally got to the point, and I thought it made sense, and I liked that aspect of it. But they could have done everything in a normal match. They're just now doing cinematic matches just to do them now.
Yeah,
Why not?
And I think that was my problem with it. Even though I really didn't have a problem with it. I didn't mind it. I didn't really rate it because it just wasn't really an actual match. It was more to further pushing Moose, but iPhone.
no, I'm with Sleazy on this. So why not do it if you can? Fuck it.
It's something different. It's something new. I didn't rate it either. I thought I was going to get shit for not rating it.
Yes, it's something different and something new, but why do it if you don't have to? I think that's my
Why
point.
not?
Like it works with the Fiend. It worked with the Undertaker. Moose and EC3. I don't know. I just didn't.
This is coming
Get
from
the
the same
point of it.
company as the Broken Universe.
Which was also garbage. So
Okay, here
You
we
shut your whore
go.
mouth, don't start in here tonight.
Here we fucking go.
I can't wait to talk about Full Gear.
oh my fucking god, I'm saving that for last. Ryan, what'd you think of it?
With so many other matches that happened, this one, I don't know. Like you said, it was just the same stuff they could have did in the ring. But it's fine that they did it. But there was too many better ones that has happened so far this year that it just kind of ruined the effect of the whole storyline for us.
It's a fair point.
It is.
Why are we fighting? What the fuck? No, your opinion is garbage.
No, we'll be fighting at Full Gear. Don't worry, we're getting to that.
Travis is just holding his
Travis
rage.
we both. Travis has a kid. We'll fight about Hell in the Cell. I already know that. Even though I don't, I'm just thinking.
Oh, I'm guarantee you there's going to be a fight that happens on LSL.
Because there was no Asian on it. Okay, we'll get to that. Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock. 12 minutes 32 seconds. Sleazy, I know how much you love Ken Shamrock matches in the year 2020.
Really? I thought he was, just a fucking beast all the time in 2020. What the fuck is he doing on here? And giving him the win? Really? This was nothing more than a nostalgia match.
I think they had to give him the win because he was in the Hall of Fame that night, but
they didn't have to do the fucking match.
But the reason why most of the time you put the other you would put Eddie Edwards over here, but they got The Rock, they got Mick Foley, they had to make a big deal out of Shamrock. So,
Eddie was jobbing.
There's no reason why he shouldn't have been jobbing, but why job to Eddie Edwards? Why it was almost like an afterthought the entire match anyway. I mean, it was booked like a week before. Oh, by the way, Eddie Edwards, I'm calling you out.
Okay, so
legit as fuck though. Like he's not like he still looks the part, right?
No, he looks old.
He looks old, but he looks
like
ripped.
Al Bundy on steroids. Like
Yes.
Think Vince.
He looks like he's still reputable. He's not like he doesn't look like a complete shell of his former self, right? He just looks older. Am I right?
Yeah, like
go
he don't
watch
look like
his
how Lex
matches.
Luger looked.
Oh shit.
I mean, dude, we spent the last 2 years watching Goldberg's fucking return run, and
But he
one
still
good match.
looked. Yeah, but he still looked like he was
Goldberg.
Goldberg. Shamrock just looks like he's a 56-year-old man in a wrestling ring, slow as shit. Like that's. But I will say, Eddie got a semi-decent match out of him. I gave it 2 stars.
Eddie Edwards.
Of course it is. But so they have Shamrock, who's a heel, go into the Hall of Fame to get a face pop and then come back out as a heel.
That's fucking dumb.
I whatever.
That's what makes no sense out of all of it, but whatever.
If Impact, my guess is that Eddie Edwards is going to end up joining up with Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock in the little stables coming out of that. Because they've been mountain off for weeks on Impact, right? Like this is
Yeah.
a slow little build. Then they got the
Yeah.
history between Eddie and Callahan before.
True. Remember when both of them were Impact World Champion? One point. Now they're
Oh,
second banana to Ken Shamrock.
Like this year.
Yeah,
They were
Yeah.
they were Impact World Champions. One of them lost to a woman.
To be fair,
one-
a great woman.
Yes, but we'll get to the why Eddie. Oh, we'll get to it in the main event. Susie, what do you think of the match?
It was booked strange. It was just a way to get, a exhibition match out of Ken Shamrock, getting him over without completely putting him over, because of the
He
shenanigans.
made
with-
Eddie tap clean. Wait, was it clean?
the actual tap was clean, but the shenanigans up to that point weren't. Like Callahan fucked with the lights and shit.
That's right.
Kayfabe, motherfuckers, is Ken Shamrock. He's a fuck somebody up.
Yeah, well, honestly, you know what it would have been best is Ken Shamrock snapping and having the match reversed, because that would have brought back his old character. If you're going to play on the nostalgia, why not go full board on it?
I think they should have had Eddie Edwards beat him up like the whole match, and Ken just catch him with a fucking ankle lock and win out of nowhere, because it would have looked like Ken had that one last fucking move, even though he's a veteran, not what he once was.
Yeah, but go
Like
ahead.
a fake version of when Frank Mir beat Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I said, they booked Shamrock as a heel going into the match, so he was going to dominate. at least most of it, so.
It was because if Ken was walking into the match as a face, that booking would have made more sense, and he was presented as a face before the match, and then he walks in the match as a heel. So it's like,
I mean, to be fair,
Can I use it? Can I use my C word?
go for it.
Consistency.
Yeah,
What?
there isn't any
What do you call
consistency. Yeah.
He cut out, so I didn't hear him. Ryan, did you get?
what I was going to say is, to be fair, that has been going on for a couple of weeks now on Impact, so it's not just a 1 week thing. This storyline's been going. Shamrock's been heel for a bit now. Just throwing it out there.
Yes, he has.
Right, but if you were playing, I guess the point is that if you're planning on getting a face pop out of him at the Hall of Fame, why would you do that? You could
He's going
have,
to the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
Not him going to the Hall of Fame, turning him heel before he goes into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But that's like the WWE answer that, oh, we got a movie coming out, you're a heel now. Leave it to be. Like that happens in wrestling.
Hey, May 19th.
May
I love that
19th.
movie
Favorite
so
date.
much. I love
It
that
actually
movie.
wasn't that bad of a movie.
See No Evil? Yeah. It was pretty decent.
Killing it with the cell phone down her throat.
Sorry, I'm making a note.
Look at him being all prepared. I just sit here, my
Taking
thumb
notes.
up my ass.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
I came prepared.
Hey,
Taking notes. Yeah, I got notes.
what is that? Is that American beer?
Michelob, yeah.
Is it seriously? Oh, well, that didn't work out well. God
Yeah,
damn
how
it.
how dare he say the truth?
This episode not sponsored by Michelob yet.
Sleazy, where's your Kickstarter? I thought you would have it all wrapped up, ready to go.
So that sponsorship fell through. We'll just leave it at that.
So what happened is you sucked their dick and they didn't give you any money.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say I got worked, okay? Let's just throw it out there. Things happened, and I didn't get a contract.
Okay,
Moving
all
on.
right. Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
Pat was happy.
Impact pay-per-view.
4-way match for the Impact Tag Team Championship. Motor Shitty. That's a callback. Machine Guns. Defends against the North, the Good Brothers, and Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. The match went 14 minutes and 26 seconds. Ryan, you're the tag team wrestling enthusiast. I've been dying to say that.
It's been a long time.
That's it. I love it. I thought it was good, and I'm glad the North went over because they're the best team to carry it right now.
Is this because they're Canadian?
No, I just think that they're like the Pex Revival is the easiest way for me to make a comparison to what the style that I like about the two of them in the tag team is.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Sleazy.
It was enjoyable. It's kind of a weird match to start the Good Brothers off in, but whatever. It had a lot of action. I liked it. That's all I got.
What'd you give it?
Oh, 3.5 stars.
Wow. So I'm the underrating piece of shit here.
Really?
It was an okay match for a house show.
No.
I just thought it was okay. Like Shelley getting taken out by the North and having Sabin pretty much do
Former Impact World Champion, so he's cool.
I wasn't denying. I was actually praising it, saying like, okay, now it puts the champions at a disadvantage to see if they come back. It makes the North look like badass heels. Mm-hmm. The North winning was a welcome surprise because on the last show, Sleazy thought Ace Austin and Madman Fulton were going to win, but he's a piece of shit. And I thought the Good Brothers were going to win. I did not think
they cheated to win.
Oh, I see what you did there. But no, I thought the match was just okay. I like the North welcome surprise. It kind of questions why they would drop it as the Impact after Summerversary anyway.
That was kind of weird. If they were just going to win it back.
Impact's been doing that a lot lately. I think they're trying to boost up their TV show to build to the pay-per-views. That's what I'm thinking they're doing. That's why the title changes are mostly happening on Impact.
Okay.
I always noticed tag title reigns in Impact to be like a semi-long one, a short little breakup, a semi-long one, a short little break. You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of how they grow when teams go like 2 and 3 and 4 reigns.
Right. Well, they were the longest reigning tag champs ever, I guess. Then they drop it, and then what? Two months later, they win it again.
Because they didn't want the longest reign to be too long.
Then you have demolition issue.
They were already the longest. What was the point? All right. So, Knockouts Women's Championship. Deonna Purrazzo defends against Kylie Ray. What? No? Huh?
Oops.
So, Kylie Ray, let's talk about it now. No-showed the event. And then pretty much announced that she was retiring from wrestling. Purrazzo, she didn't announce that on Bound for Glory. She announced that afterward, but Purrazzo issued open challenge. Su Yung called it. Match with 15 minutes and 5 seconds.
Su Young's return.
Yes, Su Young's return. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Okay, first things first. You didn't say the one important thing I thought about it, which was Su Yung won.
I was getting there. I can't have all the glory on this show like I always do. I got to feed you something. You got to get just little crumbs.
First of all, Asian on the show, 7 stars.
Of course.
Fuck you, Sleazy Meltzer.
Sorry. It would have been 8 stars if it were in the Tokyo Dome. No, in all seriousness, with all due respect to the 2 women in the ring, let's assume for the sake of argument that Kylie no-showed it last minute. So you have to put together a 15-minute match pretty quickly. And for that, this match was really good. Like I said, the surprise of Sue winning kind of questions what was the long-term booking anyway? Was it supposed to be Kylie winning there then? And they just switched it to Sue because I guess they figured that Kylie wasn't coming back? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Purrazzo was supposed to beat Kylie, and then they were just like, okay, surprise, title change, and then build the story from there.
It's better to give like a win like that than just have like a fucking cold match that made no sense.
Has Peraza re-signed? Because that was a thing for a while, and I can't remember if I heard that she re-signed or not, because she was supposed to be no contract, right?
I haven't had. I think she did resign, but I know ROH is trying to book her through Impact.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard
So-
that. I don't know what the contract status is of any of that, though. It's very possible that she was on a per match deal,
It could have been,
which
But
would
why
make
put-
sense.
but why put your women's championship on a per appearance deal person?
A couple of reasons. Number one, Deanna's got a name brand behind her. I think, technically she's former WWE, I think as well that she's well respected in the industry now. To the point where you look at the rest of the roster right now on Impact, and while you can say, yeah, there's a lot of good people out there, there's not really that many names, especially now losing, they lost Tessa Blanchard, that was their big female star. That's gone. So they have to hurry up and find somebody, and Deanna was kind of that slot in, I guess. I don't know. So I think long term they would have loved to have signed her to a long term deal, but I don't think that honestly they could. Especially not during this pandemic. Would you? Because she's definitely going to be asking for a shit ton of money.
I don't
She's
think she'd be
former
asking for
WWE.
that much money.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Travis, how much does a former WWE talent go for?
Former WWE talent? Which one?
Doesn't matter.
See?
The point. Well, yeah.
No, but
Which
there's
one?
no that doesn't matter.
I can get a former
Some go
WWE talent for like $200-$300 tomorrow. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Not somebody who left WWE less than a year ago. It's one thing if you're talking about Gangrel.
No,
It's one thing you're talking about. What's that?
He's more than that, but
No, he's not, actually. He is literally $300.
depends on what you're dealing with. Anyway.
He was, let's just say he was really nice to us and just leave it at that. But there,
Oh, so we're just blatantly because if we're just blatantly throwing out numbers, because I thought it'd be rude, but since you were already rude,
I'm going to bleep it out
we
anyway.
paid $1,000 US for Devon, so like,
Yeah. Well, and 1,000 for Devon was high. That's the kind of stuff where it's like.
So are you saying that Peraza is a bigger name than Devon Dudley?
At this point for a long-term contract, yeah.
I don't think she'd get the kind of money you think
I
she's
don't
going to
think
get.
so.
I think she's.
I disagree with that. Even on the appearance, just to have Devon show up, you can make more money off him without even wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
who the fuck is Deanna Prazo?
But that's the
Anyway.
thing is,
Right?
yeah, and that's kind of my point though, is that it's one thing when you're talking about a one-off, but if you're trying to sign somebody to a long-term contract like that, they're not going to be you're not signing Deanna Peraza to $1,000 per appearance just straight. That's just not happening.
No.
But
You have to consider, you can't fairly compare a regular indie promotion.
That's the other
rate
thing.
of appearance to, let's say, Impact, where they're constantly covering amenities and stuff like that they wouldn't cover. Like, I guarantee you, I would pay more for somebody in the U.S. based on where they are, just because they're going to lose a date and travel time sometimes to get here, depending on where they fly from. Right?
A few years ago, one of the biggest draws in this area was not like an upper indie guy. It wasn't anybody, brand new. It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Duggan brought in more people than most anybody else that was booked in this area.
Where was it to? What's your area?
This was upstate New York.
Syracuse.
That makes
This,
sense.
this one was Watertown, I think. What was that? Oswego, Watertown? The JCC one.
From talking
What?
to some of like
The JCC
80s
show.
crowd that I've booked, they often tell me that like the Northeast is still a really popular market for the 80s veterans, and all of Canada pretty much loves them too.
Yep.
For whatever reason. I guess just that's because the way the market was saturated years ago.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with it.
Anyway, the match was good, 3 stars. Like,
And we're cutting all this shit out, yeah.
so, but yeah, I mean, they like Sleazy said, they put together a good match on the fly, basically, and it was. That's it.
That's it.
Ryan, good
That's
match.
fun. Yeah, it was all right. And it's fun
It was
to throw stuff together quick, too.
Yeah. Time for the main event, Impact World Championship. Eric Young defends against Rich Swann. Oh, I'm sorry. One half of the Spot Monkeys, Rich Swann.
Wait a second. First of all, how did we get to Eric Young being world champion?
Watch the fucking product.
No. Fuck that. Why would we want to
Why
do
are you
that?
reviewing something if you don't watch the product? God damn it.
I don't have enough hours in the fucking day. That's why.
Neither do I.
I again gave you the fucking solution of watching that stupid 25 to 30 minute YouTube clip. You can watch that while you poop. Don't fucking tell me you can't waste time catching up on all the stuff. That's a little quick moment. Of
Whoa.
No.
It takes you 25 to 30 minutes to poop?
What Sleazy does in the bathroom is he's down watching Impact, and Sleazy knows exactly where I'm going with this. He's watching hermaphroditic porn.
Yes.
I work at cell phones. Cell phones, and I know he can split screen and watch wrestling and hermaphroditic porn. Don't fucking tell me.
But he won't, though. His priority right now is hermaphroditic porn. He just got a rehab for it for the second time. He's back on it. So
Why do I
that's
still
why
do
we
this
had
show?
a hiatus. He was in fucking rehab.
Why do I still do this show?
Oh god.
So anywho,
He's been sliding into the curve lately. So, but today he's not. I don't know. Why.
I'm out. You know, I'm completely out today. I'm done.
The match went 21 minutes and 31 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good match. I give it 3 1/4. But it was nothing special.
Underrating piece of shit.
It was a good match, something
You
special.
fucking Mark.
I'm the Mark that underrates, which
Yes.
that makes no sense. So
The
what's your
fucking
rating on
Meltzer
this?
Mark is what you are.
What's your rating on this then?
It was 4 stars. It was great.
I hope you step on a fucking Lego.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Wow. Whoa.
Right there. Right
Well,
there.
okay, no, hold on.
Hey.
Here's a bit. What's your problem? How come you underrated it, you piece of shit?
I thought it was a good match. It didn't pique my
You
interest.
did not think if it was a good match, you were just like 3 stars. Like, this is what
No,
star
good
ratings
match
are
is
fucking-
3 stars. A good match is 3 stars. I gave it 3 1/4. It was a good match.
But it was a 4-star match.
But it
Thank
wasn't.
you.
But it wasn't.
What was it missing? Because if you watch
I
the
don't
fucking
know.
product, the storyline
I watched
was
the
there.
product. The
The
storyline
rest
was
is-
there.
Even I remember.
Chris,
I don't watch the weeklies, and I got the story.
I just didn't. I wasn't feeling like that. It was a good match.
You know what's going on
Are you
here?
mad
He's
that Rick
racist.
Agree
Is that
with
your
Fat
problem?
Man.
Yes, I'm such a racist. That I'm mad
Such
at
a
Rich Swann.
racist.
I agree with Fat Man on this. If you don't feel the match when you're watching it, no matter how good people think it is, it's not a 5-star match. You need to
In your
feel it.
opinion, yeah.
we're arguing about 4 stars, not 5 stars.
Well, you know, if he says it's a 3-star match and he felt like, oh, I liked it, but I really wasn't feeling it.
He's a piece of shit. That's what he is.
He's an underrated piece of shit.
Listen, I go back 2 years ago when we did a podcast, and I told you that I decided that Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg at Survivor Series was a fucking 5-star match, and I explained thoroughly why. And you guys argue with me.
Yep.
I still think it's a 5-star match,
And I still think you're wrong.
and I still felt that. And the match was everything it needed to be. So, you know what? I agree with Fat Man. If he said, okay, it was a 3-star match, but I really wasn't feeling it, so it doesn't get that 4 or 5 stars, that extra oomph, yeah, you know what? I totally get it.
Look,
You know what
I
this is?
respect his opinion to be wrong. That's just I get that he doesn't
Can
like
we
the match as
agree
much
to
as I do.
disagree, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm
It's so subjective.
of course. That's why we do this show. If
We got a lot more to fight about. I don't think this is them heel.
Another thing I had a problem with is like they're doing they were doing the Bret Hart ending, having him on his shoulders for ending Eric Run's 2-month reign as Impact Champion. Like he made a difference.
No, they did that because it was Rich Swan's triumphant return from injury, dickhead.
Hold on, I gotta take pills. I can't deal with you guys. See,
the thing is,
me
he
and
just
Travis have different vices. He's drinking beer. I'm taking pills.
hey, there you go.
I hate weed.
You know,
fantastic.
you know what Fat Man's problem with that whole triumphant thing is the fact that there was no Lex Luger disappointingly looking at Bret Hart. There was no version of that.
There was no Owen Hart. There was no Owen Hart.
There's no Owen
That's
Hart.
why. That's why. Overall thoughts on the show? It was an okay show for a house show.
It didn't feature Air Fox looking upset.
It didn't feature Kurt Angle.
It also didn't feature Kurt Angle, yeah, which is very sad.
Ryan loved it because he's an Impact mark.
Yeah, and I thought it was decent.
It was. I'm enjoying Impact lately. It's something different, and no fans is just so weird. Right?
And I think that's another problem I have with the main event. It just there was no crowd to.
Again, it goes back to feeling it, right? And part of the crowd reaction is part of feeling it.
The first few shows we watched that were empty house shows, basically, I had such a
WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was a big
I
one.
thought was great.
Considering the circumstances and that it was just thrown at them, they did an amazing job of WrestleMania.
I did too.
Yeah.
Sleazy didn't.
No. I made it very clear that I wasn't feeling WrestleMania, period, because of what was going
WrestleMania.
on. Yeah, it didn't feel like WrestleMania because part of WrestleMania is seeing 80,000 fans on their feet, and hearing that and feeling that energy.
Chicken salad.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. But it still doesn't... I don't want to say excuse the fact, but the fact of the matter is that part of my feeling and enjoyment of professional wrestling is that crowd experience, and I didn't get that.
For sure.
And it's been that problem since they until like they had like the indie guys coming in and cheering and shit like that. That's when it started bringing me kind of back a little bit. The whole Thunderdome thing, and we'll probably talk about this more when we talk about Hell in a Cell, that doesn't do it for me because there's still too much canned heat. There's still too much.
Definitely piped in noise.
You know what's messed up with that? A buddy of mine was telling me that they actually command you or tell you when to boo and cheer and wave and all this kind of shit and everything. It's fucked up.
That's even worse. And that's the exact problem that you're going to have until they have live crowds again.
Huh?
So,
which I have news on later.
I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem with it because
with the Thunderdome.
No, I love the Thunderdome. I think you're on nuts. I think it's great.
No, I don't have a problem with the Thunderdome. It's a way better solution than having 4 people standing around going, "Yay."
I don't have a problem with the Thunderdome. As a matter of fact, I think once this thing goes away, they should keep it, but only have it like a minimal amount of people. Is they're still renting like 12,000 seat arenas and only getting 6,000 people? Why not have a few virtual people in there too?
I don't know what
I would assume.
I don't know what life is going to look like post-COVID, but I certainly hope
if there is going to be a life post-COVID or without COVID.
I mean, Spanish flu basically came off the radar, so this will too. This too will pass. It's just a question of when.
How do you know?
Because the Spanish flu passed, and so did SARS, and so did MERS, and so did everything else.
Breaking news. Joe Biden has been declared the winner of New York's electoral votes.
Yep, there you go. With 1% of the precincts reporting, because they literally closed the polls 43 minutes ago. By the way, for people who are not aware, today is election day. We're taping this. If you're Canadian, it's a Tuesday.
No,
If you're
it's election day.
Is it election day for you guys up there too?
No, it's election day in the U.S., but we pay way more attention to your fucking electoral system than we do our own.
That is also true. One of my favorite things is going to
himself. I care not of who wins.
Sleazy calls it election day. I call it the beginning of a civil war.
Yeah,
Well,
well.
we all know the only politics Ryan likes is professional wrestling politics.
Ooh.
All right, Sleazy, you thought this show was an okay show for a house show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go a little bit higher, but not much higher than that.
Because you're a fucking mark.
6 out of 10.
Let's talk about Hell in the Cell. Travis can actually participate. Hell in the Cell.
Welcome.
There was a pre-show. I don't care. You didn't watch it.
What was the pre-match?
The pre-match was
pre-match.
I don't fucking know.
I don't remember.
Pre-match.
Oh, it wasn't it the Truth and Gulak
Oh yeah.
and that whole.
Yeah.
Now I have to relive him kicking little Jimmy. Thanks, dickhead.
You're welcome. What a fucking heel.
I'm obsessed with WLC. Anyway,
I'm sad I have to relive it because it was sad. He kicked little Jimmy. That's fucking bullshit.
Why'd you bring up WLC? I need more pills. Oh God. So Hell in the Cell proper opened with a I Quit Hell in the Cell match for the Universal Championship.
What?
Roman Reigns defends against Jey Uso.
Because fuck you.
No, that's not the WWE title match. Come on, Sleazy. Know your own fucking tropes. Match with 29 minutes and 20 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 3.5.
that's actually not bad. That's not bad rating for that.
Wait, what did Ryan say?
Dave Meltzer's an underrated piece of shit.
Well, you're gonna fucking hate me.
Dude, I would have gave that 3.5, 4 stars. It was a good storytelling opportunity there for both of them. And I honestly,
that was a 4-star match.
I didn't think there was going to be anybody pulling anything out of this.
Oh, sorry. Ooh,
angle. It kind of made me forget that Hell in the Cell matches are supposed to be brutal. And
oh, that was brutal.
Well, it was a different kind of brutal. It wasn't gory, right? It was a good storytelling thing, which I thought was really cool. So they did a really good job of that.
I'm with Travis. I thought it was a good match, just like their Clash match. It was more than it was more than an angle furthering the storyline than it was to have a brutal classic Hell in the Cell match. These are exactly what's in my notes. Interested to see where it goes. 3 stars.
I liked the little swerve at the end too, because you didn't know if one of the Usos was going to turn on the other.
I was thinking that the injured one was going to turn on.
All that finish at all, and I was blown away. I was like, "Oh man, that's fucking cool." I never thought of that. So, one up for WWE for thinking outside the box on that.
They kind of had to because there was no way in hell. Jey Uso.
There you go.
I'm getting there, you fuck. There's no way in hell Jey Uso was going to win the Ring of Honor World Champion. The Universal Championship.
I still hate Jay Briscoe to this day. And I love the Briscoes as a tag team. Jay Briscoe.
I wasn't a huge fan of the first half of the match, but it really picked up in the end. I thought the finish was creative. I'm not sure I super like it. Not the actual finish part of it, but the fact that each one of them got knocked out but didn't quit. That was kind of weird. It was. I don't.
Jay technically quit.
Yeah, Jay quit, but
done a lot to build suspense. I think that was a very suspenseful moment in that match.
It was interesting, but it was also what do you do? And
can I just point out how awesome Jey Uso's been booked lately?
Yeah, Shock of Shocks. He's working with Roman.
He fought Roman Reigns, had to get low blowed and everything else to lose the first match. And the second match, his brother had to be choked out for him to say, I quit. Jey Uso's been booked like a fucking hero.
I will agree with that. Here's the other thing I'm not a huge fan of. The last few I Quit matches that have come down have all been the finish of the same thing. The face has to quit, not to stop himself, but to stop the heel from hurting somebody else that he cares about. You know what I mean? It's actually a surprising common trope with I Quit matches if you look down the history of them. And while that's it's a good way of getting the face.
But the way that they played up the angle didn't make people think that way. So if you look at the whole story encompassing, I didn't come to that conclusion watching it. And this is someone who's been trained for years to pick up on that shit from watching it. So I'm like, okay. In hindsight, I could see it, but at the moment, I didn't because of the buildup.
Yeah, and I don't like that, but they did it in a way that it made it seem better. I mean, it's still, the trope is still there, but they did a good way of doing it, I guess. I don't know, especially having that moment where Jimmy and Roman kind of like embrace before he chokes him out,
crying and shit.
Yeah, that was great. That was great storytelling. It added to the match significantly. The match up to, like I said, the second half of it, I think the other thing I think is that the match went too long.
Half hour?
It was, I want to say it was like 40 minutes. It felt.
Oh, it was 29-20.
Still, it felt long.
Reigns, right? You had to have your boy in there.
Well, yeah, but.
And he wasn't working the main event, so they still wanted to give him his time to help him get over.
Yeah. But, I mean, they could have done that entire storyline in 20 minutes, I thought.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's also a Hell in a Cell match.
The match was probably 20 minutes. But think about the fucking around with all the guys coming in, like, all of that.
Yeah. It was nearly 9 o'clock when it was all said and done. Or 8 o'clock. I did. I remember looking up the clock and going, "Wow, it's 10 to 8 already." So I don't know what to say to that. Maybe the actual match. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. It's still a great match. I thought it was 4 stars. So I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe you already heard Ryan chime in. It's a 4. Yep. He's up to 4 stars. Anything else you want to add to it, Ryan, or just like fuck off 4 stars?
Fuck off 4 stars, yeah.
We go to a really great storytelling match to Jeff Harvey versus Elias. So, why is Elias a heel when Jeff Harvey ran him over drunk?
But he didn't.
Jeff didn't ram him.
Exactly.
I know, but that was a joke. Okay, never mind.
That's a terrible joke.
It was barely a joke.
Steve Austin was a face. He used to run people over all the time. Try to.
Fair. But he also got run over.
Join.
Nope.
He's like, oh, I was so fucking right. Is it too late to join? Sorry, I was at an election party. What the fuck did I just say before we went on the air?
I don't remember that. That was long ago.
Ryan's like, man, I was just like cookies.
Would you tell him this is a dictatorship? And the answer is no.
just like your boy Trump trying to get in.
So, anyways,
we're talking about Jeff Harvey and Elias and the beginnings of a guitar on a pole match.
I love the big smile on your face when you say guitar on a pole match.
Listen, literally in my notes, I went, why do I see a guitar on the pole match coming? And then last night, I was at the movie, so I didn't watch Raw. Who won? I'm assuming Jeff Harvey.
It was so good.
Maybe Vince McMahon actually took Russo up on his idea to work for free.
I'm hoping.
Look at Sleazy. He's about ready to fucking go.
It just warms. Yeah.
Is there anybody here on this panel that actually likes Russo in any capacity whatsoever?
Here's the thing. He's the only guy in wrestling history where companies have to, or the only writer in wrestling history where a company has to make a press release saying, we're not hiring him. He doesn't work for us. Like, what has he really done?
He hasn't done.
Yes.
He was a writer for both companies when they're at their peak in ratings. WWE and TNA, I'm referring to.
Yeah. In WCW, he was just gimmick after we're going to have a first blood match tonight. Why? Gimmicks, bro. But
maybe he's writing for AEW now then, because that seems to be what they're doing. Let's just have a lumberjack match for no apparent reason. Anyway.
I mean the thing is with Russo is that while his problem was that he needed to be put into check. He was not put into check in WCW at all. In WWE, he was, though. Because at the end of
desperately trying to get in.
No, fuck him. You're not here for call time. Fuck you.
Okay.
I'm not putting you on a show if you're 45 minutes plus late.
I love the idea of Russo there as a fucking idea guy. Because who cares if he spits out 99 shitty ideas? You hear 100 ideas, and you hear one of the ideas that knows going to be good. What the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
You need idea guys anyways.
I also don't think, and I know we kind of derailed from what we were doing with the whole pay-per-view there, but it was a Russo-ish idea that caused it. So
yeah.
I also think Russo's ideas generally start out bad. Most of the time they have a point. It's when he doesn't have the continuation process of it to iron out what he's doing. He usually has a good initial idea most of the time.
I'd agree with that. I mean, and with all due respect to Cornette and all those fuckers, there's always going to be different philosophies in wrestling. Russo's philosophy was significantly different than most other established wrestling writers. That's just how it was. Different doesn't always necessarily mean bad. Maybe some of the stuff that he did was questionable, yes, but he was trying something different. So back to our
hand is doing.
So back to our shitty fucking
our non Vince Russo match.
That wasn't even on this show.
Yeah. This was just a bad match.
1 star.
Yeah.
Whatever. Next.
Ditto. Fuck
Okay,
it.
So, Money in the Bank contract? Otis versus The Miz. Match was 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 2 stars.
I thought the match was okay.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think we're all going to agree on this one. It was just an okay match.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It served its purpose. It was a good idea to get the briefcase off of him. What I don't like is what are they going to do with Tucker now? Because I don't think they're going to do anything. So,
Tucker, the rumor
like the stuff around the match, but the initial idea for the twist was good. We'll see what comes of it.
Tucker's rumored to be going to SmackDown to keep the feud going, was what I read online.
Right. Tucker, I put in my notes. Tucker's heels turn was predictable. I thought the match was, and it was okay. Let's talk about why Tucker won Money in the Bank, why they take it off of him, and why Miz. Why Miz is because he's probably the most reliable fucking superstar they have.
Yeah.
King of safe styles.
I'm just going to say that the king of safe style. Why they put it on him to begin with? I have a theory. Sleaze and I talked about this when we recovered WrestleMania, is that the biggest pop of that WrestleMania would have been Otis and Mandy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
So they were trying to ride it out, and they gave it to him thinking that he's going to be this bigger deal, and they really didn't do anything with him.
I also feel like he was a guy that it would have made sense to take it back off of if they wanted to. If they put it on someone of uber importance, it probably would have hurt them to take it off him.
Now Brandon wants to join.
No, fuck him.
I love you.
Well, Brandon was working. Brandon was working, so I'll be fair with him. But Chip wants to support Trump. Fuck off.
Oh, come on. You got to let one on, you got to let both on. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying neither.
Yeah.
You don't make call time, you can't come on. That's
There you go.
That's a fair rule.
I think Otis was the easiest person to put it on because it was the easiest person they could get it off of without hindering him either way because he was only at a certain level. That's what
I think the long-term booking of it wasn't to take the case off of him, but was to make the turn happen when he cashed in.
Yeah, Tucker was supposed to turn on him then.
That's what I think they were working their way to. And I think that's where I think it would have been a bigger deal had they done it that way. But because they'd kind of, I don't want to say let him fester, but certainly
they let him fester.
They didn't do anything great with him since he won.
I think this was wasn't this his first pay-per-view match since Money in the Bank?
First or second, yeah.
So, like I said, I think it's because if there was a crowds to be played involved, I think it would have been bigger.
Yeah, he would have been over as fuck.
I don't think he would have won it.
I don't think he would have either. Oh, you don't think he would have won Money in the Bank?
No, I don't. I thought
Really?
they had way more people at their helm to put in that match. First of all, they had way more people to look forward to beyond that. That they were going to, they knew they were going to have to run with limited people, so they just took the path of least resistance. I'm convinced of it. He's a dude. He was over as fuck, but he's not someone who's going to get hurt by making him lose it because he's going to be what he is. That's not going to change. They could have probably maybe done it with R-Truth instead.
R-Truth would have been funny as fuck.
Trying to cash in during like a ladder match or something would have been fucking awesome.
Or try and cash
why
in.
hasn't anyone done that? That's brilliant.
Yeah, just walk up the ladder and go.
Not even walk up the ladder. Cash in on the champion. He's down. He's still technically the champion.
Yeah, but
cash in the contract on the 24/7 title, and it would be fucking amazing.
That would be yeah.
Yeah, we got derailed a little bit again on that, but I really.
What else is new? That's this show.
I think
Otis was a safe placeholder. I really believe that's exactly what it was.
I think
you had a guy murder two people in the match. Why didn't he win?
Why didn't AJ fucking Styles win? Like,
I hate to go the sleazy route. He didn't need it.
Otis didn't need it.
No, AJ didn't need it.
I think the Otis, out of everyone in that match, it would have helped Otis. But again, I think, oh shit, I see Travis's dick.
Well done. Well done, sir. Hell in a Cell makes
that
him
was
horny.
always the plan, his crown jewel.
His crown jewels.
But I think he was supposed to win, and then they just didn't do anything with him, and they had to take it off. Now, I have a little. I'll work my other theory around when we talk about the main event.
Okay.
But Sleazy, what'd you get? I give it 2 stars.
It was 2-star. It was 2-star match. Whatever.
So
it was not. It was meant to be a way to get it off of him. That's it. And just leave it at that.
I liked it for what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fine. Like Sleazy says, it was a warm bowl of water.
Currently a warm bowl of Mountain Dew.
That's weird. Hell in a Cell match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defends against.
Okay, I don't need the video version of this. He's just gonna sit there and jack off for 5 fucking minutes.
Match with 26 minutes 35 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 4 1/4. Obviously, he's an underrated piece of shit. 11 stars, 15 on the Tokyo Dome. Yeah.
I don't know that I would have rated it that high, but it was really good. I would have given it 4 star if I was going to do it.
In reality, I did give it 4 stars. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was the match of the night.
I thought this should have been the main event going into the pay-per-view.
I thought so too.
I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with whether I thought they were going to have a good match or not. I knew they were, but
The storyline?
the angle was drawn out properly, had way better build up right from when they were a tag team and tag team champions, and they had both the women's titles. It's a combination of a lot of things. Like, that was the main attraction match on the card. And I feel like the main attraction match is what's selling the card. That should be your fucking main event.
If there was 2 Hell in a Cell matches on this card, that main event. The fact there was 3, the third Hell in a Cell match, when we talk about it later, sucked in comparison to the other 2 because it was the third fucking Hell in a Cell match.
You've seen it before. You've seen it before.
That's why Sasha and Bayley couldn't main event, because if that had to be the third one, you just would have been like, oh my god, another Hell in a Cell match.
I'd actually
second.
The funny thing is, I agree with both of you. Like, I think it should have been the main event, but Ryan has a valid point to where it's.
There should have been 3 main events.
Flow of the show, I guess. At the same point in time, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have had Randy Orton and Drew in a Hell in a Cell. I would just had a regular match or some sort of other stipulation or something. Either that or don't have Reigns and Jey Uso in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, you could have just had an I Quit match.
It would have been the same thing. It was just basically a match inside of a cage, right? They literally could have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But it was still a great match, but the Hell in a Cell was just there for illusion in that one. So maybe one of those matches shouldn't have been inside the cell.
The first Hell in a Cell match was a Russo special, a gimmick inside a gimmick. So, yeah, I kind of agree with that too, where maybe it should have just been an I Quit match.
Brooklyn was better.
Oh, I agree. I actually had that in my notes. Not their best match. I literally do. Not their best match. Brooklyn was better, but it's probably 1 or 2 women's match of the year. And Sasha finally winning a title match on pay-per-view for the first time ever.
I'm waiting for the successful defense before I make any comments.
She's going to lose it. She'll lose it right off the bat. Again, did you also notice that she's in season 2 of The Mandalorian? And The Mandalorian season 1 started like the same night as SmackDown or something like that after Hell in a Cell. So, or a week before or a little time after. So that's
I didn't notice that, but that's cute. That's a cute little.
That may be a reason why they put it on Sasha too. But I don't care. She's my girl. I love her. Sleazy, you're the woman's wrestling enthusiast. You didn't even speak. You're sitting there silently.
I think this is Sasha and Bayley's second best match that they've ever had.
Wow.
First of all, 4 stars? No, this was 4.5 stars. Yeah, you guys are underrating pieces of shit.
What was it missing?
The only thing it was missing was the thing.
There wasn't a fucking Asian in it.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but
That had to be a triple. You imagine triple threat and Southern Hell in a Cell with the 3 of them, though. That would have been fucking wicked.
yeah. I will say the one thing it was missing was a crowd.
Oh, Sleazy, speaking of your love for Asians, I hear Carl Anderson's wife is up for grabs now.
No, he's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's as much as, hey, I follow them both on Instagram and I saw the entire thing, and
Yeah,
they were pranking each other.
yeah, the entire thing was a work.
nice. It worked me.
There's a, she deleted all the posts and so did he, and there was a post a day or 2 ago where he's like, it was all work, ha 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 ha, don't worry about it. So either it was blown up, that was some legit little thing, or it was a complete work. Whatever. But hashtag hot Asian wife, obviously. As for the match itself,
Crowd. It was missing the crowd.
It was missing the crowd, really. I mean, that would be my only complaint out of the entire match. It was brutal. It was great. It was innovative. Every single spot that they did was crisp. They didn't try and put Sasha through a table. There was a lot of different pieces of the feud that came up throughout the match. It was really, really, really well done. I can't, considering how many times they've faced each other, to say that this was their second match says a lot, I think. And it's only second to, once again, to Brooklyn. Yeah. Well done, you two. I mean, really, really, really well done.
Do you feel like because we all miss the absence of audience reaction, do you feel like, because I know like with basketball and hockey, what I'm noticing is from watching those without an audience, there's nothing for even them to feed off of in terms of like reaction. So they're really focusing on their natural abilities and their talents more. Do you find that that's happening with wrestling? Because I find that in this match in particular, it stood out to me because of the absence of an audience. Like they almost like overcompensated, but in a good way.
I think it's an interesting point. I feel like that because losing the fans puts such a spotlight on them that I'm sure that not just the talent, but also the injury aspect of it. You know, you don't get that adrenaline rush when you're in the middle of the match. So when you take a bump that hurts particularly bad, or you know, take a kendo stick shot or something like that, it's still going to hurt. But now you're not getting that adrenaline from the fans as much. So things are starting to hurt more than usual.
It's almost like the territory days when you had to fucking try to change it up quite a bit and actually do a bunch of different shit and be creative and think outside the box. Because you're not going to get the reaction from people who have seen you do a million things all the time if you don't do that. If you go out and do the same standard match you always do, or only do the same couple of things every now and then, they're going to see the same thing and not going to react. So I think this is kind of like wrestling in front of like an audience that's already seen everything, except there's nobody there, and you're kind of forced to like really pay attention to what you're doing and be creative to get that extra edge to your match.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
So when you said the talent shines through, look at who won the Stanley Cup final. Tampa Bay, probably the most talent of any team in the NHL. You have the Lakers. I mean, LeBron's a bitch, but they had the talent. They won. Dodgers had the most talent. They won. So you're absolutely right. The talent comes through more when there's no crowd. So I 100% do agree with that, and it just goes to show you how talented these two ladies are.
So let's bring us down a little bit.
United States Championship. Black Lesnar defends against Slapjack. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Buck Dave Monster gave it a half a star.
I think he's being generous.
I'm wrong.
You overrating pieces of shit, both of you.
This didn't need to be on the show.
No, it didn't. But you needed a cool down between that phenomenal thing and what they thought was going to be phenomenal.
Put the Money in the Bank match there.
Yeah.
No, but the Money Bank was the cooler in that spot. Like,
no, but you had Jeff Hardy and Elias, and then you had the Money in the Bank.
That wasn't supposed to be the cooler, though.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
So
I think they had more faith in Miz in terms of his tenure being around a lot longer and his abilities, so they gave him more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this didn't even the show. Just a squash match with Lesnar doesn't do Retribution any favors.
They really haven't won anything.
No.
I
They
mean,
attacked people, and then they actually got a leader, and they're like, okay, now you know who your leader is.
you know what it reminds me of?
Oh, God.
Nexus.
No, not even close.
That's not even true, because if it was Nexus, fucking Mustafa would probably getting a program with for the WWE Championship.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. It's nothing.
Their entire angle was stopped by that 7-on-7 match. They didn't do anything after that.
Oh, you mean from that perspective? You mean what killed it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That killed it the minute they introduced Donovan Dijak as that stupid fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
That's what killed it. When I seen what they did with him, I was just like, this is ridiculous. They could have done everything else right. And the minute that they ruined that fucking amazing athletic person, I love that guy. He's amazing. And he was basically fed a shitty hand, and I'm going to blame it on him when he doesn't get over. And it pisses me to fuck off. What they should have did was instead of bringing that giant dude with AJ Styles, they should have fucking put Donovan Dijak with AJ Styles. They should have done.
That would have been a better idea. Well, here's the thing. The two guys...
Dijak, not fucking T-Bar or whatever his name is.
Okay, my problem is the fucking commentary team. They don't understand that that's fucking Dio Madden that they did commentary with for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Well, here's the other reality of it is Dijak and Keith Lee were probably the two big talents of that generation of NXT. And look where they are now. Keith Lee gets over for one match to now the WWE champion Randy Orton.
Yeah, but I think Keith Lee's a slow burn. They're not going to ruin him. And they got him surrounded by former champions. If you look who he's associated with, it's like he looks compatible to the general wrestling fan who's watching it, right?
Yes, but they got to watch what they're doing with him. And with Dijak, he's in a group that's feuding against another heel group.
Yep.
For question mark? That makes no sense in of itself. And you're absolutely right. Dijak's an amazing talent.
Why is it a question mark?
You enjoy heel versus heel factions?
The beauty
It's
about
not
this
bad with the
is that, like, they're hurt business. They're in a business, so it's not so much that they're a heel group. Is that they will go if a face is willing to pay them money, they will do the same thing. So they're almost like by default.
There's never been a point in time where they said that they were working for a face group.
Outright they offered WWE. And then Monday night, the next night, they got the promo. WWE, we held our end of the business, our end of the agreement. Your end is, and then out come the tag champs, setting up a tag title match.
So Adam Pearce has the power to hire goons?
Yeah, I'm fucking right. He does.
You know
He's
he does.
fucking Pierce.
COVID, man.
He's on the show.
COVID.
He's on TV more now than he was when he fucking wrestled.
That is a big fair comment.
I think Adam Pearce has all the power because they fucking furloughed everybody. That's my theory.
It's a good way of putting it. I mean, why not?
Abyss was a fucking lawyer for some guy for AJ Styles and SmackDown. That's
Hey,
Same reason.
do not talk any shit about Park. I think
Why are we even talking? The match was trash. Move on. What the fuck are we doing?
I think it really needed the discussion though, because you're at the point with this group where there's no way to go but disband them, and the fact that a lot of the people in the group, everyone and their brother know who it is. Everyone knows that's Mia Yim. I mean, if you watch even one episode of NXT in the last year, you knew that was Mia Yim. It's not like
The only person not known is Shane Thorne. Like, to the common eye, to look at him and go, oh, I know who that person is.
Right.
And he was the guy that got squashed here.
Right. So it makes no sense at all. The booking of it just reeks of, we've got nothing else better to do with these people. Let's just keep pushing and see where it goes. And sometimes that works out, but rarely does it actually, you know?
There's this philosophy, I think, especially with WWE, that you can name somebody or position somebody whatever way they want, and if they're that fucking good, they will get over. which is true if they're that fucking good, but they can still be great and you can still ruin them. You just have to be an elite fucking talent that will always get over to be that fucking good. Like Ziggler, no matter where you put him, he'll always find a way to get over. So like a guy like Donovan Dijak, while he is very good, he still needs the machine behind him in a way that Ziggler really doesn't.
That's part of the reason why he didn't go high in Ring of Honor. Is because Ring of Honor is very well known to be here. You guys do whatever. This is what we're kind of going for, but you guys make it work.
Right, and that works if you're around the right people and you got a good relationship with the people you're working with and they're able to guide you. Like when, and not to derail the whole conversation again, when Ring of Honor had all the guys that WWE has now, like Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins and all those guys, Dijak probably would have came out the better of that because those guys seem to care a lot more about what they were doing. So he probably would have been taken care of by proxy. But I get the feeling a lot of the guys that are there now in like Impact or Ring of Honor and a lot of these indie guys, they don't have the same passion for that.
Money.
I wouldn't go the fact that they don't have passion. I don't think they have the direction that they once did.
I also don't think they have the passion. You know why? They're all getting paid because they're all owned by billion-dollar companies. And they're all getting a paycheck. They're living comfortably. Even if they're not billionaires or millionaires, they're getting handed something which makes them not want to push the envelope a little bit or make a little bit more noise if they don't have to.
They're complacent.
Here you go. That's what I
Okay.
was looking for.
It's a fair criticism. I don't think that Dijak and, frankly speaking, Damian Priest, because they came up right around the same time. You know, Martinez and Dijak were both working at Ring of Honor at the same time. So I don't see the same problem that Priest has that Dijak has. You know what I mean?
Well, Dijak's on the main roster while Priest is down in NXT.
That's
And
true.
we've always said
They take care of their
go up
guys
to the
better.
main
down
roster. Yeah, you go up to the main roster for some reason. After 3 weeks, if Vince don't like it, you're not ain't going.
The difference is that Priest is like organically a way better worker. Like he could, honestly, in my opinion, he could have walked into WWE and went right to the main roster and be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. He's someone that, yes, the machine needs to get behind him, but he doesn't really need it. He would have been fine. They could have given him a shitty gimmick. He would have worked around it. Or he probably would have done something to manipulate what he was doing, tweak what he was doing so it didn't look as bad.
Yeah.
He's smart. And you can tell because he meshes well with everybody he works with. And we'll get to that later on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. Because wait a minute, what? It's the main event. I can't use my trope.
It's the fake main event. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre defends against Randy Orton. Match went 30 minutes and 35 seconds. Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 4 1/4. I think he's an overrated piece of shit. 3.5. I thought it was really good.
If I was going to rate it, I would have given it 2.
Oh, wow. I thought it was a step down from their SummerSlam match and their ambulance match. It just seems like they were focusing too hard on trying to have a Hell in a Cell match. It came across too scripted. How about that?
Yeah, and script is fine, but like if you go back and look at when Reigns and Jey Uso faced each other, they were all at pivotal points. They weren't throwing a match here and there, stipulations at everywhere, all over the place. There was a build. It's almost like they used gimmicks to build the match between Orton and Drew, and it just by the time we got to it, it just faded out because you've seen so much of it, and then. Even at the pay-per-view itself, by the time we got to the end of it, it was just like, in comparison to the other stuff that happened earlier, it looked like a 2, even if it was a 4.5.
Any match that could have suffered being the third Hell in a Cell match, it had to be this one.
I was literally, you couldn't see, I was pointing at Ryan's icon and been like, I know exactly what Ryan's going to say. because he already said it. It's the third Hell in a Cell match. You've seen it before. What's up? They tried to make it different by going up to the top. I just didn't think it worked.
No, it was bad.
Like essentially, like Orton hit Drew McIntyre with a steel pipe to the knee, and Drew got right up. It was just like, oh well, that was pointless. The only they just went up there, then climbed down to have Drew go through the table. Like that was the point.
The conveniently placed pegs. If that's a black Hell in a Cell, if that's black, you don't see that.
Nope.
That's why you don't paint it red, you idiots.
They paint it red to block blood on long distance shots as a just in case. And if you sell that as a toy, that's a cool looking toy for a Hell in a Cell.
Ding, ding, ding.
There it is, right there.
I thought they just ripped off the fucking cage from TNA. That's just me.
The lockdown thing? Lockdown cage? Yeah.
No, I mean they've had it for a couple of years now, but
Oh, I know, but they started doing that kind of stuff when Jeremy Borash got hired. And he's got a lot of influence over there now, so I'm thinking he's going
Okay.
like
Well deserved, what I add.
a little bit. Be like, hey, you know,
well, maybe that is true, but I just think it went from being a cage, and they got it bigger, and they're like, okay, let's see if we can't get a fresh paint of coat on this. Wait, let's literally do that. So that's what
dude.
I thought.
Sometimes marketing, you sometimes just changing it up and having different marketing or something just actually gives a breath of fresh air.
I think the key thing was the merchantability of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that was more important than the actual just changing it so they could sell the toy merchandise. And to be fair, they're a business. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. That's fine.
That's what they should do.
All right. We got Travis's thoughts. Ryan, I know you said it's third Hell in a Cell, but how'd you like it?
I mean, I enjoyed it because I enjoy Randy Orton, like most of his matches. Like, this Randy Orton now is the best Randy Orton. Like, he's just
In a long
wise,
time,
he gets
yes.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
like, he has the motivation. He was out and did what he could with a third Hell in a Cell match, because that will always hinder that match for me. Because I'll always like the third one, like, okay, yeah, oh, cool, yeah, no.
So it was just to you.
I liked it, but it was just
Liked
the third Hell in a Cell match. Like, that's my star rating is I liked it, but it was the third one.
Ryan, I agree with you on Randy Orton. I think we are getting the best of him right now, even though he is on the we'll say he's at the apex of his career. With a little bit of a twinkle in his eye. You know what I mean? He's got a little bit of extra oomph to him, I guess, that he hasn't had. Well, even his promos aren't as boring. Like, they don't seem as scripted, even though they probably are. But they probably let it loose a little bit too because of the COVID thing. And just go and have fun, guys. Don't have the extra pressure on yourselves. Just do this, this, and this. So he's probably getting to really be him, and it probably seems a little bit more organic, which I think is great.
He's working with a guy that he doesn't normally work with.
I was just gonna say, do you guys think it's because he's working with Drew?
I think so.
What was that, Sleazy?
I think so.
All right. And what do you think of it, Sleazy?
Hell in a Cell burnout was a real thing. I 100% agree with that. It was good. It wasn't great. Orton winning had to happen. I mean, God damn it. If he was going to lose to Drew one more time. So it was kind of a foregone conclusion that he was going to win here. I think in our preview, I think I said that he had to win here. But yeah, it was a match that happened on the show in the main event.
But it was the best Hell in a Cell match that featured Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, right, Sleazy?
100% agree with that.
What was your star rating?
3 stars.
Wow. Overall thoughts on the show? I think the 3 Hell in a Cell matches were good to great. Everything else was trash.
Ditto.
I wouldn't go so hard as trash, but yeah.
I was going to say that. Yeah. I did. I liked the pay per view overall. Even the matches that weren't Hell in a Cell matches, I liked them for what they were. I did. I loved Miz and Otis. I thought that was a nice little swerve that they did there. I think they're doing good, man. They did some good work over that pay per view.
I was going to mention it before. So
You better be R.I.P. Little Jimmy.
it's not. So
In
Miz winning
the
Money in the Bank.
arms of an angel.
I thought you were going to leave the memories alone, but okay. But so Miz wins Money in the Bank. Orton's the champion. Now Orton's in a feud with The Fiend. I kind of see like The Fiend like beating the shit out of Orton one day and Miz just cashing in.
I want Miz to win that fucking belt before they leave that fucking Thunderdome place, just so he can say he beat Orton in the same place twice.
Well, it'll be a different building, but same city.
No, same building. Same building.
I don't think the Amway Center was around in 2010.
Probably name something else.
Well, here's the thing: is that both champions are heels, and Miz is a heel, and Ryan's gone.
No, so
Can you still hear Ryan?
I can still hear
I
Ryan.
can still hear Ryan.
Ryan's going to fucking Google right now just to make sure I'm correct on my statement. But as far as I know, that is.
Well, you might be right. If my fingers were like to work.
This is a great moment to put over GearNetwork.com. Great place to go. Check out all the podcasts that are here, along with the wrestling show with Sleaze and the Fat
Ryan's
Man.
right.
Yeah.
It opened up a month prior.
You lost by a month.
By a month.
So if you missed it by a month, she's probably pregnant. Sorry. No. Okay. Anywho, Gear Network, check it out. Check out all the podcasts that are out there. If you'd like to support us, there's a link on there. You can check out some of our friends of the show, friends of Gear Network. And as always, check us out always on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff. We'll get all that stuff in the liner notes. So, Fat Man, what the hell are you doing?
Stretch my
He's
elbow.
ready for the people. He's ready for the people's jerk off.
Yeah, he certainly is.
You talked about Sasha, and I'm going to talk about how fucking, I don't like tattooed women, but Shotzi Blackheart was looking fine on Halloween Havoc.
Let's talk about Halloween Havoc.
You got pictures of her shit, didn't you?
What?
You
I
didn't
didn't
know
hear
she
that.
posted out pictures of her own poop online?
Yeah, that's weird.
Good for her.
Hey, got to make money somehow.
I'm the only one that knew that.
I did
You are
not.
the only one that knew that. I
You
did
were
not
the
know
only
that.
one, which begs to question your character, Travis.
Travis,
So Halloween Havoc comes back after 20 years.
just to get over Shotzi.
Just to get over Shotzi Blackheart's shit, I guess.
Oh my!
The stars.
There are things that we now know about Travis.
The show opens up with a Devil's Playground match for the NXT North America Championship. Damian Priest defends against Johnny Gargano. Match with 21 minutes and 5 seconds. I'm going to look up Monster Star ratings. They weren't out quite yet. I'm not sure if they are. Sleazy. You're a Johnny Gargano, Mark.
Yeah. I usually am wearing my Johnny Gargano shirt, but today it's the NXT Champion shirt. I don't know if that makes a difference. Loved it. It's a Gargano match that was amazing, featuring another guy that was also amazing. I was surprised but happy that they pulled the trigger on Gargano bringing it back, because I think the problem with Priest isn't the fact that I think the title's above him a little bit right now. He's on an upward trajectory, so I could see him challenging for the NXT championship proper. so you had to get the belt off of him somehow. This was a great way of doing it because it also kind of was trying to foreshadow what was happening in the main event without actually happening. If that makes any sense, and we'll talk about
a tombstone to the head. Like, that's unbelievable.
Yes, yeah, that was. Gargano has very smart feet. Let's just put it that way. Well done. Well done. Yeah, it was. I'd give it like 4 stars.
No monster star ratings are out yet.
Okay, so.
I thought this was a month too late. They should have put it on Gargano last show.
I agree. At that takeover.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like the match. One of the things I really liked about it was they meshed so well together, and it was 2 very unique styles that meshed well together. I almost feel like, sometimes you get too wrestling-y. Like if you have like 2 people who wrestle and Matt wrestle way too much together, it's missing something. This one here was like, almost had like a really cool dynamic of a little bit of both, which was really cool. And it was easily my favorite match outside the fact that it was a stupid gimmick match. But I understand pay-per-view.
Do you remember the
What do you mean pay-per-view? This is television, not pay-per-view.
Yeah, this was on NXT, bro.
This is TV. This is TV.
Whatever, you know what I mean. It should be on the main roster.
Yeah. Do you remember the Timothy Thatcher Finn Balor match from a couple months ago?
Yeah.
I think Travis, that's the kind of stuff that you're talking about, where it was just too much of one style, and in that particular thing, it was like British Catch style.
Yeah, well, the problem that I had with like watching NXT UK is too wrestling-y. It needs a balance, and yeah, so you're spot on in saying that.
Did you see that Walter and Dragunov match?
Yeah.
Not yet, but I've heard it.
Oh my god. I wouldn't rate it as high as Canton rated it. Canton gave it 4 3/4, but that was fucking brutal. That was a brutal fucking match.
Is that the one that Cornette went off on the internet about saying it was like the best thing ever? Like
Maybe, I don't know. I just
like bread type thing.
That sounds like Cornette.
I just happened. I couldn't sleep one night. Saw that. I'm like, I haven't seen NXT UK in a while, and I just fucking put it on and got to that match. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So, Sleazy, you're going to hate me.
Yes.
It was good. This is the Gargano Priest match. It was good, but not to the level of previous Johnny Gargano matches. 3 1/4.
Get the fuck off here.
3 1/4.
3 1/4.
Wow.
I think the commercial breaks, which is clear they had to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It kind of like stopped the flows on the matches, and it's really it's a nitpick. I can't even say that. That's just stupid. But I don't know.
It's a nitpick, but it's a fair criticism, though.
I wasn't feeling it either.
Yeah.
It was just like Travis says, it was stupid fucking gimmick matches.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like I said earlier, like you can hit all the right pieces, but if what you're doing has a wrong foundation, which is a shitty gimmick match, it's dumb. I agree with you and Brian in saying that should have happened at TakeOver because it could have had a way better match that wasn't gimmicky. It probably would have came across better because of the whole atmosphere of the match.
Yep.
I think they needed to give a good shot somewhere in this show because it was a TV taping. It wasn't a pay-per-view on its own. So to make the shock of, we probably should do a title switch somewhere. This was probably a decent place to do it, but I understand why.
I thought they were going to do it.
So here's the thing. So they had a TakeOver at the beginning of October like 5th or something. Mm-hmm. Why didn't they just have a Halloween Havoc themed TakeOver at the end of the month?
Because they wanted to compete for ratings, which worked because they won.
Yeah. The Wednesday night slap fight continues on, folks.
Things don't fucking matter anymore, and I don't care if you guys believe it or not.
Hey, Demo God says differently.
Ratings don't matter at all. People have been unplugged. No, they don't. There's different ways that people can watch. I got YouTube TV. I can watch AEW on YouTube TV.
Right.
Guess what? Live. I'm not counted
Absolutely.
as one of those live viewers. I am not.
Okay. It doesn't matter to you, but it matters to them, and the ad sales team matters to them.
Yes, I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. When people say ratings, they're only counting DirecTV, Dish, Comcast, the big freaking cable companies. They're not counting Sling. They're not counting YouTube TV. They're not counting Hulu as live ratings.
They do count DVRs and stuff, though.
They count DVRs, but DVRs does not. Yeah, it's still what's happening is that they're still getting the live feed in through that box.
Yes.
That's the main difference. YouTube TV and those technologies use a completely different metric of actually garnering the program, so that.
Yeah. No, I agree that ratings isn't the only factor anymore.
As an ad revenue service, you're absolutely right, Travis. Like, they're still getting that ad money from the commercials that is still there, but they're not counting me as a live viewer. So ratings don't matter. And at the same time, I said this, Ryan looks high as fuck. As saying this again, more people, I don't care what fucking Jericho says, more people watch NXT Thursday night on the network than they do AEW live. So fuck you. Ratings don't not matter anymore.
I'm not going off on the ratings thing. I'm going off on why wouldn't you do a Halloween themed television show around fucking Halloween when you have the trademark for it? You could do that every year for NXT. Why? You don't got to waste it. You don't got to waste the takeover of it.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying you have a takeover, then you have a themed show. So I get that, the takeover is a big event. You have a themed show. I understand it 100%. I'm just saying, why not have a theme? Have it themed? They have an in your house takeover.
Well,
here's done that on TV too.
Here's the other thing.
They had a Great American Bash on TV.
On TV. So I mean, they had an in your house takeover and a Great American. Like I get it. I understand it. I'm just saying, if you're going to have it in the same month, why not have it as Halloween themed? That's all I'm saying.
I also want to.
The other thing too, like you're paying, like you also have to consider that you're losing in the ratings, even if ratings don't matter to you. To Vince, who's looking at it and saying, "Okay, we're losing in the ratings." USA Network is paying us an ad rights fee to have that program there.
And WWE's make more money off their ad rights fee for NXT than I guarantee you fucking.
Right. But what happens when the contract is up? Right.
The contract's up in 2 years. They can just put it back on the network.
They could.
They never lost it off
they
the
won't
network.
get the money for it, though, is the thing, right?
You still got commercials on the network.
Oh, yeah, your own commercials, absolutely.
No. You don't. You can put in commercials for fucking Kickstarter in there. They've done it before.
No, I don't mean WWE commercials. I mean WWE putting in their own.
Yes, they do that all the time. Yes, I understand that. But they could easily go, hey, here's a commercial for you. Fucking.
Which, by the way, pisses me off.
Yes.
I'm paying $10 a fucking month. You give me ad-free content, you fucks. Go fuck yourself.
I'm paying $10 a month.
We are paying.
For WWE to give,
Don't you even get me started with this. I'm paying $10 a month for wrestling. You may also be paying $10 a month for wrestling. It may be different things, but we're both paying $10 a month for it.
Huh?
I'm paying $10 a month for independent wrestling.
Oh, that's right.
You fucking
Forgot about
idiot.
that. And I haven't.
You probably haven't touched it once, have you?
Not once.
You fucking WWE stan. You sit here and in your fucking ivory tower talking about WWE like it's the best thing and the only thing in the world. And indie wrestling can go fuck itself. Go suck a cock. And guys are
wearing a 2CW shirt and you're wearing a fucking Finn Balor shirt.
Yes.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
The hypocrisy is not being ignored here, but I'm ignoring it right now.
Lawyer, motherfucker. Fuck off.
I also want to point out that on our U.S. election day, I'm wearing a Canadian team's hat. That's all I'm saying. But
they're not Canadian.
Right now they're not.
They didn't even play their fucking games in Canada.
Yeah, they played in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Almost Canada.
They're the closest. Hey, they're just as Canadian as I am. Then
I like to think of Beth Phoenix is Canadian, and she's from Buffalo. So
Elmira. She's originally from Elmira.
really,
Yep. She worked in Buffalo for many, many years. She was trained in Buffalo, but she's originally from Elmira.
Your face is from Buffalo.
Yes. While we're talking about 2CW, I don't know why I thought about bringing this up, but why not? If you're local to the New York area and you follow 2CW, you know that the December 20th show has been postponed due to COVID. Shock of shocks. But while this has been going on, they're doing a podcast called Remembering 2CW. If you have ever been a part of 2CW, you owe it to yourself to listen to these shows. There's about 25 episodes now. They're absolutely phenomenal. They're great shoot stories from the times of 2CW. The first couple episodes were Josh Jenere. And they go through with many, many different guys that have been at 2CW over the years, including Spike Dudley, Jason Axe. I believe Colin was one of the episodes. And they're great stories. They're great nostalgia memories. And if you've ever been a part of 2CW, you owe it to yourself to listen to this show. It's really, really good. You can find it. The first 15 or so episodes are on YouTube, but the rest are on the 2CW's Facebook page. Now that I'm done with that plug.
Of course, you got a butt plug all over the place. Ryan, what do you think of the match?
It was all right.
Yay, Ryan agrees with me. No, that's it. All right. I'm too high for this shit. It's all right.
It was all right. Like,
Okay. Santos Escobar versus Jake Atlas. Match with 3 minutes 28 seconds. I gave it 2. I wasn't bad for the time they given. They did the most that they could.
yeah, this is a popcorn match.
It was definitely a match that would have been on a normal NXT Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh.
Not where it was positioned.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
consistent NXT television.
Who marked the fuck out for the orange ropes?
I
was the only
didn't.
one.
I didn't.
I didn't
I was the
even
only one?
notice
I was the only one.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
You guys are fucking bitches.
You're a fucking mark.
That's what I said.
When I watch a wrestling program, I actually watch it for content.
I noticed it. I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, orange ropes? That's perfect for Halloween Havoc.
I actually watch wrestling for the wrestling, not for the refs.
One year, and it's fucking awesome.
What color Jake they fucking use?
Analyzing stuff that goes
Listen.
on. And yeah, man, this show was great, but it would be a lot better if the commentators didn't suck.
Yo, dog, that fucking lighting.
I never
Holy
complained to
shit.
the commentators. I just love wrestling. You know, and it's just we lost so
Dude.
much integrity as fans to be able to sit down and just watch for the sake of it.
Dude,
don't watch
did
for
you
the color
hear
of the road.
that bell ring? Fucking phenomenal.
Nah,
Let's talk about something that 100% was not fucking phenomenal. Haunted House of Terror match.
oh my god.
Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Loomis. Why do I think Ryan's gonna be like, this is the greatest fucking thing ever?
It was the better of the cinematic matches we've talked about.
No, it was not.
No, it wasn't. No.
It was fucking terrible.
No.
Wait. I'm sorry. It was terrible. It
Thank you.
was just terrible.
It gave me vibes to Orton Wyatt because it was just.
Which was awful.
But I liked it because it was just so bad it was good. Like, what do you think out of
No,
it?
it didn't go that far down. It was just bad.
Why are the quote zombies only going after Cameron Grimes and not Dexter Loomis? And Dexter Loomis is a serial killer, so when do serial killers end up summoning zombies? Yes, I'm trying to make logic out of this fucking bullshit. It made
Oh, that-
no
Oddly
That sounds like an
enough,
issue.
that's where Vince Russo would have made a good booking decision because he would have never let that happen because he has a finger on the pulse of that shit. He knows that zombies don't fucking respond that way. And some dude in corporate office who's telling people to rape shit didn't know that. And you know what I mean?
Bro,
Also,
bro,
the way they
bro.
use the
No,
camera-
wait, no, bro. He's a serial
looks
killer,
like-
bro. Hey, you can't do zombies, bro. You got if you're gonna do, bro.
You got zombies, you need to do them this way, bro.
Sleazy, we've talked about this. I thought we stopped using bra. It was a good week. Let's just end it there. Okay. And the camera work on this match, like watching the worst Michael Bay movie, but 10 times worse than that. It was terrible.
And dude,
was terrible.
did you see that
terrible.
driver? Fucking sped off to the left. Oh my god,
And
it was
by
like the
way-
best.
Okay. And another thing is, why the fuck was Michael Hayes in the van? Why?
Because he's a
Where's
southern
that
gentleman.
driver come from?
The only reason he was there is the throwback to fucking Halloween Havoc in the early WCW. That's the only reason.
Ugh.
I didn't.
That particular dude.
I don't know
Driving
who.
on bad street, boys. Like, pay attention.
Dud.
The only reason
In
why he was.
Atlanta, GA, when they're in Orlando, because that makes sense. Fuck
It's a
you.
cinematic match.
Dud.
Hey, wait, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
the camera grinds ran back in like 2 seconds. Fuck you.
Hey, Doc
Right?
Hendricks
No.
brought the
Orton
Hardys.
shaved his face when
Hey,
he did
dude.
the Wyatt Orton
And I
thing.
bitched about that too. I bitched you. Find the fucking episode. I bitched about that too.
I know.
This was fucking garbage. It was a dud, a waste of fucking time. Could have just had a regular fucking match. Why do it? Halloween. Stupid as shit.
Are you done? You
I'm like,
fucking
no,
done?
no, I'm not done. I'm not done shooting. I'm not done shooting. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Hey.
Had to get that dig in at least once. Hey, we have to go back and talk about the rest of this because it was in 2 parts.
No, I'm talking about the whole thing now.
No, I'm bringing it back up.
We're just talking about the whole thing.
No, like actually, yeah. Let's talk about that because I thought that was fucking stupid. It wasn't one of the like. It almost reminded me of like the Hollywood Backlot Brawl,
Yeah.
where they went on with shit and picked it up after.
Yeah.
I thought from a continuity standpoint for the show, it really fucking threw it off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It made it worse.
Yeah.
It was already bad, but it made it worse.
So bad, it's good.
No.
I love how
It's fucking terrible.
Fat Man's leg is in the shot.
Yeah. Look at the sexy leg.
Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ. How the
yeah,
fuck?
look at-
I'm
look at
putting a
sexy
lower
scar
third
right
on
there.
there.
Sexy scar right there. Oh, yeah.
I can also
Look
see
at
his
my
balls.
calves all mutilated. Oh, yeah. Oh, can you? I have a cat roaming around here, too. Anyway,
We need a pussy shot, god damn it. How do you think we're getting ratings?
he's hiding in my closet. Travis, you said it was stupid. Ryan loved it. Sleazy probably agrees with me. It was dumb as fuck.
It was dumb as fuck.
Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. 13 minutes and 2 seconds.
That was
Sleazy.
amazing.
Sleazy. Okay, go ahead, Travis.
That was amazing. I love the big man matches. It's nice to see 2 big women do the same thing and do it well. They did a lot of nothing and made use of it. Everything they did meant more because they did less in their match. It was fucking perfect. Absolutely perfect. I loved every minute of it.
I'm going to piggyback on that. I liked it too. I thought it was physical as fuck. You don't normally see that in a women's match. It didn't hurt Gonzalez to lose in that situation, even though I think she should have won, but it didn't really matter. It made her look like a boss in defeat. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a good match. Yeah.
Samesies.
Oh.
Samesies.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was absolutely hard hitting as fuck. You're absolutely right. Everything was spot on. I would give it a little bit higher rating. I gave it 3.5 stars. But other than that, yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it. And it was an anticipation for these two to really tussle it up. And I think it's the future of the division. I really do. I really think that in 12 months when Io goes north and Candice leaves is with Gargano, and you're going to have Dakota Kai and these two at the top of the division.
Can I have a quick follow-up?
Yeah.
I just want to point out that what they're doing with the two of them is what they tried to force Nia to do, but she sucks, so it doesn't work.
I mean, from a legitimate standpoint, yeah, her and Tamina.
It's funny because it's true.
See, Tamina's not that bad in the ring. She just gets injured a lot. They don't have her with the right people. If they put her in NXT, she would fall in line. Or if she had those workers to work with. It's the two of them that don't mesh well together. Nia fucking would not. Nia sucks. She's there because she's related to The Rock, the end.
And Tamina's not there because
they need a chubby woman to make sure that they're being politically correct.
I can neither confirm nor deny the fact that may be true. It doesn't hurt that she's a cousin of The Rock's.
Nope.
So there's a lot of potential non-wrestling reasons why she's in the spot that she's in. I'll just put it that way.
I'm not picking on chubby women because if they had Awesome Kong there, I'd be all over it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they need someone there to represent the chubby person, and they have the wrong person because that person also sucks.
Ryan, you're fat.
Bertha Faye, huh?
Bertha Faye.
Well, I have a particular hatred.
I don't know what it is about it, but I found it really funny that Ripley Rhea and Raquel Gonzalez can do that big man style. One's 5'10", one's 6 foot.
Yeah, the big woman
stuff. The other women, though, right? It's the visual.
I know, it's just so funny every time I look at it because I understand when I watch them, like, yeah, no, they're big bitches. Like, they gonna fuck somebody else. But then I'm taller than them. Like, it's funny.
Well, we love to pick on Adam Cole a lot. Both Adam Cole and Zack Sabre Jr. both billed at 6 foot. But there's a picture going around not too long ago that showed that Adam's like 6 inches shorter than Zack is. It's phenomenal. I'll find it and post it.
Sleazy's build is like 7'8", so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Adam put extra soles in his shoes when Vince hired him.
Oh, he needed platforms at that point. And I love Adam. Don't get me wrong. I think
I did enjoy the match to get us back on track.
Well, I think before we continue on, Adam Cole is one of those guys that will make NXT and the main roster so much better, no matter where he's at. And
he's another Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but also Austin, the person behind the character, is such a genuinely nice guy that he'll go far because of that as well. So I feel like that Adam's going to be this huge star no matter where he goes or what he does in WWE. He isn't going anywhere.
Okay. Now let's talk about the best part of this show.
Asians?
Drake Maverick dressing up as Hulk Hogan and getting fucked by the Yeti. That was fucking awesome. That was the best part of the show.
Okay,
100%.
I mean, second best for me.
Brilliant. I loved it. 10,000 stars.
Would it be 15,000 if it were in the Tokyo Dome?
At least there wasn't at least the giant didn't come out after getting fallen off a building. So that's good.
It wouldn't be the only murder this year.
Big Show step on a building and trip or something because it would have been funny.
So that was the best part of the show. And then we go to a tables, ladders, and scares match for the NXT Women's Championship. Some Asian sleazy loves. defends against Candice LeRae. 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast and also has an Asian fetish that's going to rate this 10,950 stars plus Texas with a dollar sign in front of it.
That's a fair rating. Anyone else?
I thought the match was great. I thought it should have been the main event, either that or the one with Damian Priest. But that definitely, the way they booked it anyway, it definitely should have been the main event given the time they had. I just don't think. I think the gimmick was stupid. Tables and scares, and they had a legit scare. And I understand it's a Halloween event, but like it was still fucking dumb because it's wrestling and it has to be, in my opinion, a little bit believable. So,
Dude, did you see that security guy? Really good doing his job. Fucking 5 stars. Phenomenal.
Sleazy jerking off.
Somebody should give that man a raise.
Did Sleazy jerk off to a security guy? And I heard a wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died. Yeah.
I agree. If you're going to push Gargano and you're going to push LeRae as this golden couple and this dominant couple, like even when we talked about how Gargano should have won the last takeover, they were doing the Johnny Gargano, or even when he faced Keith Lee, doing the Johnny Gargano way, and he keeps losing. What's the difference between the Johnny Gargano way when he's a heel versus when he's a face? Nothing. He just always loses. So now
He was losing when he was a face.
that's what I'm saying. So why have this Johnny Gargano way and he keeps losing? But now that he won that match, why not just give the title to LeRae and have him be like this dominant couple in NXT? I thought the match was great too, 3 3/4. Some bumps you really don't see in a women's match. Look at Sleazy. I saw his face. He's like,
You
what are you
fucking-
talking about? This match was like 900 stars.
What is wrong with you?
I don't
was a
know.
great
I
match.
have trouble putting star ratings on things because I really think you have to feel things to give them a good star rating. So it's really subjective. I don't know how I would rate that one because I love the match, but I think I would have given it 2.5 stars. Honestly, even though I still loved it, it's not something that I felt. I felt stupid about it, but if I had to rate it, even though I love the match, if there's even that one little thing that just makes it look stupid, it just takes the emotion out of it and replaces it with some negative emotion.
I will admit that some pieces of the match were dumb. I was going to say stupid and then changed to dumb for some
They
reason.
added a legit
Stump.
or not even legit, a fake scare in a match, which looked completely dumb because it was a tables, ladders, and scares match. They needed a scare spot.
Especially considering that Io Shirai's gimmick is supposed to be kind of scary. That's why they had Poppy play her out. What the fuck?
So, how come none of you shit on Johnny Gargano super kicking a fucking skeleton?
Because it's funny.
I forgot about it.
It's funny. That was funny. This was
Thanks for giving me PTSD there, Ryan.
I had a question. Why did Chelsea Blackheart interfere in the match? Like, she wasn't involved in anything the whole night. She was just like a stagehand that was the host. What was the reason for her even being in there? It just made no sense.
I don't-
Candice LeRae cheated to beat Chelsea Blackheart to win the title shot.
What?
Candice LeRae cheated to beat Shotzi Blackheart to win the title shot.
Yeah. It was.
To quote Ryan, watch the fucking show.
Wow.
I forgot about it.
Yeah,
Well,
that was the point of it.
That night, Candice LeRae wins the title shot, I think, that night. And then later on, it's announced Halloween Havoc, and they're like, fuck, Shotzi's running the show.
Yeah. So it's like, honestly,
Based on Shotzi.
you can have her.
I
I hear she's really into scat porn.
Travis knows. I don't fucking.
Oh, yeah, it is Travis.
Dude, I just found out about it the other day. Look it up. No, actually, don't look up at pictures, but look up the article.
Lies. There's a lot of lying going on in this.
People were messaging her like, "I'm gonna buy your photo out of pity," and she's like, "Cool, man. Whatever gets me money."
Hey, shameless plug, Shotzi Blackheart. There you go. Give her an 8x10.
Blackheart.
Shit porn.
Poop?
Scat
Shit?
porn is what it's called. You guys don't at me. I know.
She puts her poop in the toilet and sells it to people.
Belle Delphine sold her bathwater for a shit ton of money. Okay? You do what you got to do to make money. Okay?
Yeah, if I was a young hot chick, I'd sell my shit on the internet. Fuck that.
No. It's Shotzi Blackheart's name sounds like a porn star that just specifies in scat porn. She doesn't do it, but somebody tweeted that her name sounds like it does.
Not what I heard.
Sorry to disappoint you.
I'm not sure which is worse, the fact that we were talking about scat porn, the fact that Travis was really into it, or Fat Man went looking for it.
Travis told me to look it up.
Yes.
No one told you to look it up. No one told you to go looking up scat porn.
What
What the fuck is this show? What have we done in our lives?
The Canadians ruined it.
Let's get to news and rumors. Oh, we still can.
Allison Kay said she is a free agent.
Good for her. Where did she sign from? Was Impact, right?
She just left NWA.
NWA.
Oh, it was NWA. She had the contract with. She did do a one shot with Impact, didn't she?
Yeah, that was before.
Travis is looking it up right now.
Just kidding. Everyone's looking up scat porn today on the wrestling show.
Fucking election results are.
I'm not
Last
even
time I knew
looking.
Biden was up.
But
It won't
yeah,
matter
she
till
was
tomorrow
back
morning.
Before, but then she left and did some indie shit, went to the NWA stuff, so she's a free agent. I mean, okay. Somebody will get
Biden's
her.
up
They'll use her.
192 to 114.
192 to 114.
Yep.
Why do I have 192 to 108? What are you using?
It's
Facebook.
6.
He must have won a state that you didn't see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not everyone calls states the same way. So
Yeah.
sometimes those numbers can be off.
I wonder if Trump's actually going to leave office.
He has to. Let's not talk about that right now, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Actually, has to.
Let's just
anyway.
put it this way. That is the after the wrestling show. That if you
go pick up for any Fed right now.
You mean I can't talk about politics on this wrestling podcast?
you can on our Patreon supported version of the wrestling show.
Okay, let me blow through. There's not much. Remember,
Don't fuck with me. I want to make money too, man.
Remember last show we talked about Sarah Stock and her legal issues.
Yeah.
Well, apparently all of them were dropped, but one misdemeanor. She just paid a small fine, and that's it.
So it was a nothing burger. It was all said and done.
Sure.
He got
Okay,
drunk and paid her way out of it.
All I see is Travis's top of his head.
Yeah. You should see eyes and a nose.
Okay. So we also talked last show about WWE's third-party edict and about how I understood it from a business standpoint for WWE. The more I read and think about it, the more I'm with you, Sleazy. I think it's bullshit. Especially when Paige come out and says that, I'm going to continue to stream on Twitter because, I can't wrestle anymore. My dream's gone. And now, yes, I'm still probably under contract making some guaranteed money, but now you're taking some income away from me and I'm streaming video games, which I'm passionate about, and it helps with my mental health. Why are you taking this away from me?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
She's not the only one to close out her stream.
Nope. She didn't close it out.
She was planning on it. Originally, she was planning on it.
No, she came out. Apparently, several people came to Vince and said, "You can't really. This is a bad idea." But what do you guys think about that? By the way,
Here's my theory on this. I think WWE is well within their right to say you cannot use these platforms while you're under contract with us. With that being said, they had to change the contracts, which I think they're trying to do, but they also have to compensate the talent fairly, which means they can't have them as independent contractors anymore.
that's literally a mashup of what me and Sleazy said. Like the same almost the same verbiage too.
Yeah, I have no issue because here's the reality: is nobody outside of like fucking indie fan in the UK knew who Paige was before WWE. So Paige is literally making all this money off of WWE's name, whether she's using her own name or not. However, while she's under contract with WWE is well within their right to use that money she's getting as part of their own payroll and revenue intake. But, but they should give her a proper contract for it.
I said the same thing. I said it's a WWE trademark name. I understand it business wise, but I still do think that they should compensate them for going on it. And I think the big thing is WWE wants to have exclusive contracts with these companies like, say, Cameo and Twitch.
Absolutely.
So if you have, say, Paige go on them without WWE having a contract, they lose leverage. I get it. But at the same time, come on, guys. It's not that big of a deal.
It is, though, because it's nothing to do with Paige, but when they're trying to streamline everything, when it comes up on Twitch and Camo and all these programs, the logo that you're going to see first before no matter who's there is WWE's name attached to it, which means their name is getting out there. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, a lot of the fucking advertising WWE is doing is kind of fucking archaic. So they probably should be doing what they're doing or trying to do, right? So,
yeah. All right, Ryan, what do you feel? Oh, and he mutes his mic. There you go, Ryan. What do you feel about it?
It's a double-edged sword no matter what way you look at it, because anybody new signing contracts coming into WWE is going to find to work out a deal with these companies. It's usually what they do. This is going to be smart business for everybody. And they're going to find a number to pay people depending on how many views it's going to be. So Absolutely. For future people coming in, figuring this out is going to be great for them, people like AJ Styles and fucking Paige and that, this kind of sucks for them, but it's the reset for WWE. If you don't like it, don't fucking beat her.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like the reality, a lot of these people coming in after the fact, they're not going to have the notoriety that AJ Styles has, and they're not going to get that kind of leverage because WWE's not going to let them. They're like, you need to go through our channels. Our contract state you can be on all these channels, but through our name. And, that means all the followers are WWE followers. You know what I mean? So, like, if they happen to leave their contract, WWE owns the rights to that account, the followers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's and that's definitely the way that it's going to be. I can guarantee it.
Right. And I don't know if it was last show or I was listening to a past show. I talked about how it's WWE is not a live event business anymore. They are a television company. So, and if they can get extra revenue coming in, they're making the most money they've been the most profitable they ever have, ever. And their ratings are the lowest it's ever been. There's nobody in the crowd, but they're still making profit. The most ever.
And paying attention, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
They have more fans than they've ever had. People don't want to admit it, but they do. Vince McMahon said it the other day, and he's right. They have more fans across the world than they've ever had.
Yeah. And they just signed a new TV deal in Thailand, which brings in revenue, merchandise revenue. This is another revenue stream. It's not all about ticket sales and live events and ratings, which people make this big fucking deal out of. If you're not drawing at house shows, shut them down. That makes absolutely perfect sense. Like you said, way earlier in the show, go virtual on some of those live event shows. Maybe have your TVs in front of crowds when it comes up, but go virtual maybe on these house shows if possible. So I I think I'm mixed on it. I think that I understand it from WWE's standpoint, but it's kind of fucking the talents over now, and it will work out in the end.
Here's one piece I want you to think about. What are you paying as a WWE executive? What are you paying AJ Styles to do?
Russell.
What is he doing on Twitch?
Yeah, the thing is though,
that's a very simple question.
He's playing video games and chat with people, but
right.
That
as AJ Styles or
NWA, if you're the NWA, like old school NWA, you're paid to wrestle. But WWE superstars are not wrestlers.
I think AJ Styles is
only a part of what he does.
AJ Styles is a bad example
because AJ Styles owns the AJ Styles name, not WWE.
Right.
So if you would have said Paige, for example, what's she doing on Twitch as Paige? That's a little different story.
Okay, let's throw.
He's got everything changed now too, right?
Let's throw another one out there. Xavier Woods. What do they pay Xavier Woods to do?
That's true.
Especially considering everywhere on Up, Up, Down, Down, he is not known as Xavier Woods.
No.
He's own. It's Austin Creed, which is also another gimmick name. It's not his real name.
Right.
So,
but that's also a following that he got outside of WWE, not using. Well, I'm sure some carryover, but like realistically, that was something that he branded himself beforehand.
One of his. Yeah, to be fair though, one of his biggest shows currently, right now, is him, Cesaro, Tyler Breeze, and Adam Cole playing Uno. First of all, if you've never seen it, it is the funniest thing in the fucking world. Go watch it. But I think the problem ends up being is
look at that
at what point are they no longer independent contractors? And we've had this conversation so many times over the years.
Yeah.
They're being paid to be wrestlers.
Right.
You can
Here's the problem, though. With an independent contractor contract, you can word it whatever way you want to still have it as an independent contract. That's how loosely they are. So you actually need to change what it means to be an independent contractor in order to stop having WWE get away with it. Because when WWE signs their person that they're signing for start to end date over a certain criteria,
they own their ass.
They're independent contractors within that time frame that are marketed to do what WWE wants them to do based on what's in that contract.
Here's the problem with independent contractorship in the United States. Having an exclusive deal with one company no longer makes you an independent contractor. And that's the biggest problem with all this stuff, especially when you're saying not only are you exclusive to us for wrestling, but now you're exclusive to us to Twitch. Now you're exclusive to us whenever you do anything else outside of these 4 ropes or these 3 ropes and these 4 posts, we still own you. That's a problem. That's a big problem. And the other part of that is that while, yes, right now, technically, there's no provision that we're aware of that's in those contracts that say, hey, we own you on Twitch now. We own you on Cameo now. There will be very soon, and there's no way they can say no to it. Because they can either take the contract or go to Impact.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
They have no leverage once they get into that system, and that's the biggest problem. And we've talked about this before as well. That's part of the reason why you need unions in professional wrestling, because shit like this gets fucking messy.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I think long term what's going to happen with wrestling, at least where WWE is concerned, is the same thing the way record companies do it for musicians and stuff like that now, is you sign a contract for a length of term, you're technically an independent contractor in a weird different way, but it is the same thing. Over a certain period of time, after being with them a certain point, you will get the rights to your music, but you don't have them right away. So
yeah, they're exclusivity contracts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking over a certain period of time, once they build up a certain notoriety and things like that, eventually they will have the rights to certain things, like maybe their followers or maybe something like that. I think that's the way it's going to go because that seems the way a lot of these things are going, right?
Here's one other piece that I want to touch on specifically with Twitch, mainly because I think them making money on Cameo is a different circumstance because at that point that's very muddled because that's truly in their wheelhouse. They're already doing that with WWE because when you do an appearance deal, that's no different than Cameo. It's just an online version of that. So I have to put that to the side. Twitch, I think, is a different animal in the fact that they're doing something different. Yeah, they're famous for something else, but they're doing an organic, they're making money separate from what they are originally famous for. Second of all,
making money or not, when does the job stop? Because they're mostly doing that under like downtime, right?
exactly. What at what point are they? They're already working. Well, not anymore, but at one point they were making 300 dates a year and blah 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 blah. But here's the other thing about that is that it does WWE know. There's no reason for WWE to take a Twitch channel and get the subscribers because once that talent's gone from WWE, that channel will instantly not make any more money because the way that the Twitch works is that you make money off the bits and you make money off the subs. So unless they have one channel that WWE subscribes to that all the players are playing on, they'll immediately lose the subs as soon as they lose a person. So it makes no sense.
You know WWE's logic though.
Yeah,
they can have a Sin Cara channel and Sin Cara is played by multiple characters and fucking. You know, they'll go down that road. There'll be like a fucking fake Razor Ramon again. We'll dig up Rick Bogner from the dead. And, you know, they just want to trademark for the sake of it, dude. That's what they're going with. They don't really care about that shit.
I don't disagree with that. But from a court standpoint, there's going to be a point where they push it so far that they're going to get slapped. And pushing it in this realm will very much get them really in hot water. We're at the point in our country where we've got the first major antitrust case happening with Google since Microsoft.
Right.
It's coming. It's happening. And independent contractorship has been coming to a head in other realms with Uber and Lyft and delivery services.
The technology's new, the avenues are new, but this process is not new.
The fight's not new, but it's being more broadcast because more people are falling into the same traps.
Fair, and it's more publicized on the internet. But like the reality is, the medium has changed, but this stuff has happened before. Like you go back to the '80s, you can talk about how Jesse Ventura sued fucking Vince McMahon for a specific type of contract and wanting royalties because he was on commentary on matches that were sent down on VHS tapes for super tapes and shit or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like this whole thing is not new. The mediums have changed. So I'm wondering, you know, would pre-existing legislation be able? Some of that has to be able to be applied to it because it's just a technology that's changed. I'm thinking WWE could probably try to argue that it's still intellectual property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've refined their contracts over time so that stuff like this, what happened with Jesse Ventura back in the day, doesn't happen. But they still have to test it in court of law when something new comes out. So I'm really curious to see how far it actually does go. And if WWE wants to test it, man, test it because they're going to need to, because if not, they're just going to be in a power struggle and anybody can come into WWE and make money off their platform and leave at that point. And it's not right because WWE is a big company. They branded themselves and made that name for themselves. And I think WWE should be handing out fair contracts, but I really don't think it's right for WWE to have to automatically give someone a free platform just because they signed for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Somebody had to be the test dummies in all of this. Somebody had to be the fall guys. It just happened to be Paige and AJ and that little crew of people that were doing it.
Well, yeah, and see, these are the guys that had a bit like freedom anyway, because WWE was doing nothing about it, even though it was legal. WWE probably didn't have their finger on the pulse with it because they're a bunch of fucking white men in suits, and they're not paying attention to shit that's going on, and nobody was saying anything because everybody was comfortable and WWE stagnant. But now I think this like woke up a fucking sleeping giant, and Vince. The 200-year-old Vince is like going off his rocker because people are walking away with money and it's supposed to be in their pocket, and he has shareholders to fucking respond to, and all these people. So when this gets out, they're all thinking about we can make more money and this could be our dividends, and the whole fucking goes right down the trail of like a list of reasons why this needs to be done.
Let me throw this out there for you. The average Twitch streamer of decently famous, we'll put it out there, okay? A decently famous Twitch streamer makes on average $3,000 to $5,000 a month. If you take the 5,000 on that side, one of the other things that came out with this, and we talked about it a little bit on the last show, was
I still can't find anything news on that.
Really?
I cannot. I've not heard anything about that at all.
So I will definitely have to dig it up then, and I'll show you.
Okay, I can't find
is that the money that they would be making on Twitch would go against their downside guarantee. So that effectively they're saving money every hour that they play on Twitch and every sub they get on Twitch. So the performers making the same amount, but they're making less from WWE because it's now counting against their downside guarantee. And that was the big complaint about it.
And here's the thing. Sorry, Travis, to interrupt you. Like you said, that's the big complaint about it. And I cannot find anything about it.
Okay.
I've Googled it. I went through news and rumors on PW Insider, Raja, Plug.
Ringside News reported on it the other day.
I can't. Oh, was there? Because I couldn't. No, I'm talking about that specific part. What goes against it. Was there? Okay, because I can't find it.
Yeah. So basically, I agree with WWE's philosophy on that, but what I don't agree with is doing that under the current contracts that they're offering them. Mm-hmm. If they're going to do that, that's fine, but they need to rearrange their contracts. And I guarantee you that some of the people who already had themselves situated, they're not going to sign those until their contract's up, and they might not at all.
Yeah, only in a fool signs an MOA for an amended contract right now. You either renegotiate that when your contract comes back up.
They offer someone an extended contract for X number of dollars. Like they'll probably, like, if Paige got a year or two left on her contract and they want to extend her for like another 7, 8 years and she wants to do that, it might be something she might want to let go of long term just to have herself situated. Right. Something like that. Like, but if she has other offers out there and she has other revenue streams, and I don't know what she's doing outside of Twitch, but if she has other ambitions, she might not go that route at all.
Exactly.
But I guarantee you, all these people that are in NXT, that are coming in NXT, like the lower end guys, they're not going to have that option.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
Over NXT UK, they're not going to have that option. Those people coming up from Evolve, not going to have that option. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a short window for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that was a longer discussion than I thought it would be.
It's a big topic, man.
No, it is. Impact re-signs Falaba.
Bah.
Who?
Bah. Bah.
I'm mad that he's talking now.
Bah.
Yeah, Sleazy. He's actually cutting promos in perfect English now.
Is he really?
I don't know who that is.
He's a bigger guy. He worked a site / Impact co-branded show.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He worked with Dick, didn't he?
He worked with Dick.
I have vague memories of that show.
The show that I was on and you weren't.
Yeah.
And you work for a site and I don't. Yeah,
exactly.
That show.
Yeah, that show. That's the show.
where I was produced by Sanjay Dutt in a pre-tape with Eli Drake.
Hey, hang on, you dropped the name over there.
Name's Zuh.
What about names? What are you talking about?
Names you've dropped.
I dropped my pencil. I had to. I wasn't going to, so I had to drop the pencil. But enough about boosting my own ego. WWE shortened Matt Riddle's name to Riddle. So, apparently, according to fuck Dave Meltzer, the reason why the name change was because of the ongoing lawsuits between Riddle and remember we talked about this last show, Candy Cartwright, and WWE. Even though WWE isn't in the lawsuit, which we talked about last show. So if you Google Matt Riddle's name, that'll be the first thing that pops up. But wouldn't you Google Riddle WWE and that would be the first thing that pops up anyway? So that makes no sense to me.
No, what would come up is riddles about WWE.
Oh. Which performer currently raped someone?
There's a riddle for you.
All of them.
If your answer is Dexter Lumix, you're wrong.
No Sting merchandise is on WWE Shop anymore.
It will be.
Yeah, those get renegotiated all the time.
Yeah.
The rumor. Did you hear the rumor about it?
Oh.
No.
That he's going to AEW to
He's
manage
going to be
Darby.
Darby Allin's manager.
Like, what the fuck? How do you get that?
If they do that, like AEW is getting so bad for a company that said that they're going to have all these fucking fresh talents and provide a wicked alternative to WWE's archaic and abysmal product and just sign all their fucking guys, including their legends, their producers, their fucking commentators. Their list is endless. Find me someone there who hasn't been with WWE at some point in some capacity.
Luchasaurus.
Orange Cassidy?
Orange was.
It wasn't Luchasaurus and their... Oh, shit. We're going to have this discussion again.
Wait, what?
Wow.
He said someone relevant.
Someone.
You said Orange Cassidy. He said someone relevant.
Someone who has a great following.
Darby Allin?
Does he have a great following?
I think so.
I'd say the only ones in WWE in AEW that actually have a really good following that haven't been with WWE are Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. That's my opinion.
Adam Page.
And I'm like they're one of them, but those are the only ones. The rest of them have like a little tiny bit of buzz that has a pretty low ceiling of like a couple 100,000. I guarantee you.
MJF.
Go check out. MJF might be a special case too, at this point, just because he's working with Jericho. But
oh yeah, because that's the only reason why.
Didn't Orange Cassidy just work with Jericho?
Thank you.
Lawyered, motherfucker.
Wow.
But like, okay, so MJF, I'll probably give him a pass, but even check his followers on Instagram or
You know who
fouls?
You know who fouls?
I guarantee you, these guys don't have any more than like a couple 100,000 followers.
You know who fouls MJF on Twitter? Sleazy's asshole.
Sleazy's asshole does. Hang on, let's. I actually don't know. That's
Well,
fine.
you guys are discussing that. Let's talk about. Go ahead. I was saying, let's talk about what you sent us in the chat. AEW's confidential April accountings payroll invoice.
Yeah.
There's some interesting names on here.
Why isn't mine on there? God damn it!
So
They slipped me a hot dog once.
payment processing is Automate Retail Systems, Coke Solutions, Payment Today. I don't know what that is. Okay, so Public Relations and Advertising. See if some of these names ring a bell. Brian Alvarez,
Who's that?
Wade Keller,
Who?
Lawrence Sinclair,
I'm not following.
They're all wrestling writers. Every single one of them.
and fuck Dave Meltzer.
How much did Dave make?
$270,000, and that's just for the month of fucking April. No wonder what.
That
Now
was
we know
over the
he's getting-
course of the year.
Now we know he's getting paid to suck their dicks.
Well,
Does that officially make him a prostitute?
I also think that document is fake.
Do you think it's fake?
Yeah,
I do
because
too, but I don't also at the same time.
when you look at somebody's checks and balances, like in terms of a big company, they're broken down into a lot more detail than that. You would never hand that type
Like TikTok is only 111 grand. Instagram's only 30 grand. Twitter's 320
Okay,
grand. Facebook is only 86 or 80
I
grand.
personally believe that Dave Meltzer at least is in bed with AEW.
Oh, so 100? No.
to be fair,
100%.
But I think that document is fake.
here's what I'll say with the social media things. Who's getting paid to post shit on social media? Wrestlers are already doing it.
Yeah,
So they don't really need to put extra ads on there.
right.
Maybe they have one social media ambassador
Well,
in the
you
back.
can also sponsor a post too. So if AEW sponsors a lot of posts,
There's no
But you
need.
know, in America, a lot of companies buy off their media sources, right? So it's not uncommon for a business to fucking do that. It's a very capitalist mentality. Now, don't get me wrong, it happens here too, but it's a very rich culture in that regard in the U.S. You guys know that. So it's not, and Meltzer's been bought off before by other people for like magazines.
WWE.
WWE's probably the
Bruce
best at that,
Bruce said he was on the payroll for many years
right?
because he fed them shit.
He used to do it years ago in certain territories. He would like put people in magazines in exchange for getting cuts of POs and everything. And the dude was fucking slimy.
Mhm.
It's fucking carny, man.
Yeah. Wrestling is carny.
What?
Wrestling is carny.
I'm convinced there's no better worker in the professional wrestling industry than Dave Meltzer in 2020. Convinced of it.
Actually, I mean, you're not wrong. The man has managed to.
Working the entire fucking internet for one. He's working like the old school people and pissing them off to no end, getting reactions on them. Any way you could possibly work an angle outside of actually doing something on a television program, the dude is doing it.
And he is doing it. He's also doing it on television programs too, just not in the way you think. When's the last time you saw a non-WWE produced documentary that didn't have Dave Meltzer in it? You don't think he does that for free?
WWE and Netflix teamed up on multi-part documentary on Vince McMahon. Lawyered again, bitch.
What?
I felt like saying lawyered again, bitch.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually very, very excited for that.
I love it. I love Vince. I think he's great.
Vince is king of the carnies.
He's a tragically flawed human being, but we wouldn't be watching wrestling without him.
Trying to
Yep.
blow through the rest of these guys. I know it's late for you and it's late for us. Thunder Rosa
Oh
under
my
contract
God.
with NWA through 2021, even though there was interest between AEW and WWE. Wrestle King, huh?
Meh.
Meh.
Wrestle King 15 will have a max of 20,000 fans per night.
Big crowd.
I'll be going.
Yeah, you won't.
I'm getting my passport next
I
week.
want to do a Wrestle Kingdom.
Doesn't mean
I
you're
wanna do a
going.
big one.
You want to do Wrestle Kingdom?
I want to do one Wrestle Kingdom, yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's illegal in Japan, right? Like severely.
That all fun edibles. I'll join the mafia. I don't care.
Goes over to Japan, joins the Yakuza, loses a finger, but it's worth it because he finds edibles.
Yeah.
9 fingers, 1 edible.
They had him in this vase, and I couldn't get it out, so I just broke it, and they chopped off my finger.
Let me keep the edible though. Only look like this now.
Rohit Raji signs new multi-year deal with Impact. That's Baby Jinder Mahal.
Good for him.
WWE's agreement with Amway Center ends on November 24th, but they're looking to have some live fans for the Rumble, if only for that one show.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Impact released Daga, which is not a surprise because he's married to Tessa Blanchard.
Shock of shocks.
So, Sleazy,
Yes.
you always say with any either Money in the Bank winner or G1 winner that they're going to cash in or they're going to lose their contract beforehand. Ibushi is going to put the briefcase up on the line at Power Struggle against Jay White.
What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you?
Even you got one right in 8 years, bro.
This is the second one I've gotten right in as many weeks.
You got one right in 8 years. I'm talking about the cash in and Money in the Bank shit. You got one right in 8 years. Calm down.
2.
What was the first one?
Corbin losing.
What?
Corbin losing by his
Well,
stupidity.
He doesn't know how to fucking cash it.
But he knows how to murder people in Money in the Bank matches.
Yes, he does. So
AKA he knows how to win.
And no briefcase in Japan. The briefcase, no one's ever lost it before G1, so he's losing it.
100% he is.
Last bit of news, and obviously got to leave on a somber note. Tracy Smothers passed away.
Every single guy that's ever worked with Tracy has said so many nice things about how he's dealt with people in the business. It's sad to see someone with so much knowledge and love for professional wrestling pass on, but the hope is that his memory can be lived on in so many other wrestlers that he helped.
Yeah, absolutely died of cancer. 58 years old.
Too early.
Way too early. Yeah.
Did we talk about Joe Laurinaitis on the last show?
Yes.
Okay. Who did the tribute to him?
Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy
Dreamer.
did.
That's what it was. I knew somebody did on one of the shows we reviewed.
So weird, man, because we had him here back in January for our anniversary show.
Yeah.
And then we ran one show after, and he was pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Like, it was so weird. I got a bunch of signed 8x10s. It packed up that I haven't had an opportunity to even try to sell at shows.
Yeah.
And probably sell really well now, which is good, but I kind of feel shitty because I'm taking advantage of someone's dead.
Yeah.
But he did sign them for that purpose, so.
Yeah.
He was a great dude, man. Such a great.
He's similar in the fact that with Bruce and Tom Pritchard, they take a bullet for Tom but put a bullet in Bruce. It was the same with him and Johnny.
Oh yeah, dude. When he was here, he did not have very good things to say about certain people.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, he was very respectful towards them. And I had a really funny conversation when I was driving him from the hotel to the show. He was on the phone with somebody. I guess it was a promoter that he worked for in the U.S. And I guess there was a financial situation there, and he didn't get what he owed. He was owed, and he basically got off the phone with him, called another person, was like, "Can you go down and see if you can get my money?" He said he doesn't know who he's dealing with. Me and Hawk would never put up with this shit years ago. He was pretty but he was saying it in a tone where he was fucking serious, dude. It was really old school.
Yeah.
Like, but he was honest, dude. He was like super honest. Like, he's one of those shake your hand and mean it, like old school guys. Like, I could have sent him money and he would have came. He would never fuck me over. He was that type of old school guy. Like, he appreciated honesty and he gave it back in return. And I knew it like the minute I had a conversation with him.
Yeah, he's, from what I've heard, he was one of those guys that was really, really well respected all over the place, too. I mean, big, small companies, didn't matter. He treated you with respect if you treated him with respect.
I was a little bit shocked, actually, because he was on this huge health kick. He was asking me to pick him up fruit and stuff when he was on his way here. He was texting me while he was on the plane.
Yeah.
And he's picking up like all this fruit. I ended up getting a fucking full bag of apples, and I gave him the apples when he got into the truck. He's like, "Dude, you got me a whole fucking bag of apples." And he just cracked up laughing at me. Just started ripping open the bag and just started eating the apples in the truck. It was pretty funny. Just little tiny quirky memories like that.
Yeah. It's one of the nice things about professional wrestling that as a, doing it from the inside allows you to have such strange and weird memories, but some really nice stuff. There's stuff that no one can take away from you.
Yeah, it's I use those to offset the shitty ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they just, And
Yeah, for every good memory like that, there's the memory of a shitty promoter whipping a water bottle at you because somebody's hurting the ring.
I was there.
Nice. Well, on that fucking note, Ryan, Travis, thank you guys so much.
We ain't done yet.
What? I thought you said that was the last one.
That was the last news and rumor. Let's talk about Full Gear.
Oh, this has already gone 3 hours, or 2. Yeah, 3 hours.
So, Orange Cassidy's on the pre-show with Basic John Silver.
Orange Cassidy's going over.
Jericho versus MJF. If MJF wins, he's allowed into the inner circle.
Jericho's winning, but I feel like they're doing a double turn, and MJF's going to run the inner circle and kick Jericho out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. AEW Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose.
Asian wins.
No, the Rose winning.
Asian
I
wins,
want
LOL.
I want Shida to win. The match that Travis is looking forward to, the Elite Deletion match. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. And let's see if Matt Hardy fucking knocks himself out and then the doctor clears him and then makes him climb up a fucking scaffold. Fuckers.
I love Matt Hardy as a wrestler. I think he's a great wrestler, which is why I think his deletion shit is absolutely fucking dumb because he doesn't need to do it. And
It's not dumb. It's terrible.
It's fucking
It's
dumb.
terrible.
It's terrible.
It's awesome.
It's terrible.
It's fucking terrible.
It's so terrible. I just can't speak enough badly about it, but I love Matt Hardy as a performer when he does professional wrestling shit.
All the left there, the boat is in it.
I had to look at everything Matt Hardy does in that scope as not a professional wrestling entity in order to try to appreciate it.
I know Sleazy's going to say match of the night. Wait, no, there's no Asian in it. Never mind. Tag team title match.
Might be.
Tag team title match. FTR defends against the Young Bucks. If the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for the tag team titles again. That sounds like a familiar stip.
And that's what's got me torn. And I was really like, there's no way they're not winning the belts. Like, they're winning the belts.
Sure.
Right?
It's
I
too
mean,
predictable.
they did the same thing last year with Cody and Jericho. And Cody lost.
Yeah. But you can take Cody out of one singles title division, but he's still in the other one. There's nothing else for the Bucks to do.
That's true.
Until they put the 6-man titles in play.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck Jakara.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Ring
like-
of Honor has 6-man titles.
Well,
I
Ring of
know-
Honor's awesome. Fuck Jakara.
I know we're running late. I want to segue here while this is on my mind.
Okay.
Who the fuck are the heels in that match?
There aren't any.
Yeah.
No.
Young Bucks or FTR? Because I have a huge problem
FTR.
lots of times deciding who the fucking heels are.
It should be FTR.
In a lot of situations in AEW, it's like they're almost like that glorified indie fed that just puts people as heels and faces show to show, week to week, so they can put a card together.
I've been saying that for months now. AEW, if AEW books like they are one indie show at a time.
Yes. And FTR are the heels in this match.
Yep. Anybody who is with Tully Blanchard should automatically be heels. I mean,
Yes, sir.
that's a given.
That's fair.
Yeah, Young Bucks. Cody versus Darby Allin for the TNT title.
Darby
That's gonna be
wins.
amazing.
Wait, huh?
That's gonna be amazing.
It will be.
Oh, you guys both talked at the same time, so I didn't say. Would you say Darby, Slizzy?
Darby, yeah, is Darby actually going to finally go over?
He should, but it's AEW, so you never know.
Hey, the TNA. Wow, the TNT. I was going to make the X Division gimmick anyway. The TNT title isn't about weight limits; it's about no limits.
Fuck you. Sleazy and I called this Page versus Omega, number one contendership match, tournament final. So you said Page, I said Omega.
Oh, it's Omega.
I don't think there's a question about that.
There is. What do you think, Paige?
I think it would be easier to work the post title run with Paige being top and then Kenny chasing as the heel.
That would be a good reason for Kenny to win in a shitty manner.
I don't think he'll win here. I think he'll win the title from Paige in a shitty manner.
See, they're already pushing Omega as a tweener / heel anyway, but against AEW, we just had this conversation.
Yeah.
I think he has to win. Omega has to win. But
We'll see.
but the thing is, we haven't.
It's been the first time I've been wrong.
You're always wrong. I quit match for the AEW Championship. Moxley versus the king of this 2-star match, Eddie Kingston.
Oh, I'd love to see Eddie Kingston win.
So Eddie Kingston.
Has there been a Page versus Moxley title match? Or match at all?
I don't think so.
I mean, it might be Page, because I don't think Kingston's winning. I think they're going to keep it on Moxley.
Oh, they're going to keep it on Moxley 100%.
So then maybe Page is winning. Because you already had Moxley versus Omega.
Yeah, but Omega's taking the belt off of Moxley.
Okay. That's you can do that too. So yeah. Okay, so we all agree Moxley.
Yeah, but Adam Page is a real cowboy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have.
That's your anal sissy up there?
He drinks and he's a real live cowboy. Unlike Buddy Murphy. And also a teacher. What the fuck?
Buddy Murphy. You paid a 6-figure salary to make out with 19-year-olds.
She's 19. She ain't under 18, so I'm cool with it. Whatever. Fuck
She's
it.
legal drinking age up in Canada. What's your problem?
Drinking age?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never say anything bad about it.
All right. We got everything we
Everyone's just been like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think. I guess. It sounds bad, but
maybe, but not illegal.
Okay. We are officially done.
okay. Well, where was I going with this? Oh, Ryan, Travis, thank you guys for coming on the amazing 200th episode. Yeah, no.
Happy to be here, man. Let's do it again and go another 3 hours. Why don't we do the WrestleMania 6-hour marathon next time?
Watch it. We might.
We still got to do a couple watch alongs. Ryan, you and me still got to do the 93 watch along for the King of the Ring.
How dare you?
Or me and Sleazy. We got to do the 91 Rumble watch along because you a bitch. We got your Rumble in, but not mine.
Whose fault's that?
Yours.
So Travis,
in rehab.
Yeah. Fine.
Hold on now. So if we're using Zoom, can't you screen share? We can all watch this at the same time.
Yes, but it doesn't work well. It skips. It fucks off. It doesn't give you the full 30 frames per second. Yeah, like what Fat Man's doing. It doesn't work well. I've tried it. I've tried it with shoot things, so it just doesn't work. Travis,
Shoot things.
what do you got to promote? Throw me something.
2 wrestling shows coming up next week, actually.
Huh?
13th and 14th of November. COVID restrictions. Only allowed 80 people. Most of the tickets for both shows are sold, but we're doing it, and it'd be hard pressed to say we're gonna make a whole lot of money off it, if any. But we're doing it here in St. John's at CLB Armory, so I guess we'll plug that.
Okay.
And that's really the only thing, because I haven't been plugging a whole lot lately, so we're just sort of getting back into the swing of things here.
Twitter?
If we don't get off at the knees again.
You got Twitter, Instagram?
At AEW Wrestling NL. And then Facebook is just search for New Evolution Wrestling. Instagram, New Evolution Wrestling. Yeah.
Ryan, got anything to plug?
Yeah, motherfucker, plug me Instagram, Ryan Bucknotch.
There you go. And wrestling shows, Twitter is at Sleazy Fatman. I am at TWS Sleazy. Fatman is at TWS Fatman. We are on Instagram at Sleazy Fatman when I'm not banned.
It's mostly just Asians.
It is literally all the Asian wrestlers.
Male or female, he's not.
I don't
gender
discriminate. Don't discriminate. I don't hate either. I don't think. I should probably look that up. Anyway, but yes, WrestlingShow.com, GearNetwork.com. If you guys want to get a hold of us, talk to us, enjoy. If you like this format on YouTube, please let us know in the comments down below, or once again, hit us up on the social media. Otherwise, for Sleazy,
for the Fat Man,
this is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun.